All right, welcome to another episode of Spare Time. I'm your host, Carlos, and this podcast is brought to you by Umpqua Survival, coolest store in the land, and best place to get any kind of firearms or firearms needs that you could possibly need. And today, my guest is a good customer and also the owner of Smokeless Solutions and several other small businesses. Entrepreneur Jason Weber. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, right on. Thanks for coming on. And everybody's favorite, Mike. What's happening?
Hello. Let's do it again.
Yeah, we were at lunch for a long time because they were slow today, but now we're here with our little late start that nobody knows about because the podcast comes out at the same time all the time, so they don't know if we start late or not.
Also, because I'm spending more money in your store.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, that's a good reason to be running late.
Yeah, I love your store, man.
Thanks. So, Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get going into whatever.
Military brat, born in Wales, UK. Moved every 3 to 4 years of my life. Lived in Spain, East Coast, West Coast, been in Oregon for quite a long time now. It's where my dad decided to retire. Business owner, own Smokeless Solutions, Vape Crusaders, help people quit smoking for a living. And, that's kind of the short version of it.
That's cool. Yeah. So, what is it? You were born across the pond? They call us across the pond, though, huh?
I was British.
Yeah.
British.
It's too bad you don't talk like that, though. That would be cool.
They say you got to be there till past puberty.
No.
Yeah, so I think I left the second time when I was 10.
Yeah. You got to be there till you start having some bad teeth, and then...
Basically. Yeah, exactly. And then even in, like, the main parts of the UK, like London and stuff, they make fun of us from Wales.
Sure.
I don't think I can say on the radio what they say, but it's pretty bad.
Dude, Mike and I are trying to bring it back.
Yeah.
What's that?
The way that they cuss.
Yeah. In everyday,
in England,
normal shit.
In Europe, dude, I love it.
Well, you'll see me even say bloody hell a lot. And that stuck with my mom and then me as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Like I love the shows that are kind of based over there, the way they talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Freaking Tom Hardy, dude. I love Tom Hardy.
Dude, Tom Hardy is the man.
Right off.
Yeah.
The man. Proper gangster.
Yeah. He needs to be on the show, dude. Tom Hardy be good on the
Oh,
I'd hang out
God.
with Tom Hardy all day.
Dude, absolutely. Like, I've thought about that, too. Like, if I was
Tom Hardy
hang
and
out with
Burt
someone.
Kreischer on the same episode.
They both like
Can you
cigars.
imagine? That'd be so fun.
Mark Wahlberg, he's another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Mark Wahlberg's badass.
Yeah. Real man.
Except for I would totally call him Marky Mark all day long.
Marky.
Hey, we all got our start somewhere.
If I could have started out
Yep.
as an underwear model, I probably would have.
You would have, yes.
But I don't think anybody's wanting to look at this.
Hey, there's an audience for everything.
Yeah. So, what was it like growing up over there?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a little different because you grew up, I'm assuming, on a base.
No, actually.
You guys were off base?
Yeah, we were off base. I remember a whole lot, but I remember, beaches, lots of old castles.
How long were you there?
Oh, I should know this by now. I say maybe like 5 years, and then we moved away and then back for a few years. So,
You said you were in Spain for a while too.
Yep.
In like junior high school age or something.
Yeah, Rota, Spain. I believe it would have been like 11 to 13, 14, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. We were on base there, but I definitely snuck off base a lot as a kid. Yeah, you can get to do a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah. I haven't got to go check that part of the world out, but it's on my bucket list.
Heck yeah. I'd like to go back as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of things that, I'd like to experience that I probably took for granted even when I was a kid. So,
yeah. That's so weird. Kids taking things for granted.
yeah, right?
Never happens.
My nephew, he's getting ready to go on a backpacking trip in Europe. That was his little brother. That's his graduation present from high school. So he's taking him backpacking for like a month or something like that.
Nice. That'd be fun.
So yeah, that'll be interesting. He's really good on social media, so I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures and
Peaks and cheeks.
Yeah, peaks and cheeks.
Peaks and cheeks.
Yeah, he likes to go to the highest plot that he can find wherever he's at, and he freaking strips down naked and takes a picture.
Oh my God.
He takes a picture from behind him of him standing looking over this peak.
That's hilarious.
And he's naked, so he peaks and cheeks.
That's hilarious.
But it's awesome, yeah. But yeah, that kid he retired from the military, from the Marines, and he's been living basically like a nomad ever since. He's going to school online, and he's just traveling around, and he's really into martial arts and MMA. So like right now they're down in Bali, and he's training at some Bali martial arts place, and he got engaged, and his fiance is with him, and the pictures they post is amazing, dude. These places they find.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if you could do it all over again,
yeah.
I mean, that'd be one cool way to fucking do it.
Absolutely. I'm jealous.
Yeah. And you go to these foreign countries and it's so much cheaper than it is here. So he can actually afford to live that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, he bought a camp trailer, and he lives in a camp trailer when he's here. And it's actually parked at my son's house right now. But he hasn't been here in 6-8 months.
Just living his best life.
He's been in the Philippines, and he was in Hawaii for a while, and he's been all over the place. So, and then I don't think we're going to see him again for maybe by fall, because I think he's going to be down there for another month, and then he's coming back and grabbing his brother when his brother
for the
graduates,
graduation.
and they're going to England,
taking off.
or going to the UK to backpack all around there.
That's the good life, man. Definitely wish I could have done more of that.
But I'm pretty sure they're going to be staying in hostels and freaking doing all the things,
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's cool though that lots of military brats around, and you kind of bounced around a little bit.
Definitely seen a lot. Gotten pretty blessed to be able to go to a lot of those places, and it's a good experience.
So did you inherit the curse of being a Cowboys fan, or is that just all
Holy shit.
Oh, dang. Didn't see that one coming. Actually, you nailed it. I did. My dad was a Cowboys fan. He got me into them when it was the 90s and we were kicking butt.
And the old Emmett Smith.
And it hasn't made sense.
3 Super Bowls, and I have been miserable ever since.
Yeah.
In fact,
I made some pretty silly decisions.
Oh, God, you're telling
Dude,
me.
I've been a Seahawks fan my whole life, dude. So I had like 3 good years my whole life.
Dude, if I wasn't such a loyal person, let me tell you, I would have jumped to another team. But, I try to not get excited anymore, and I just expect us to suck.
Dude, sports fans
take it
are
the way it
epitome
is, right?
of loyalty.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's stressful.
Sports fans are the most loyal idiots in the world.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's stressful being a Cowboys fan. It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, I saw a couple posts that you were forced to post when you lost bets, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I need to stop doing those.
They were pretty funny. I appreciate them.
A lot of my buddies are 49ers fans, or mainly 49ers fans, and so it's rough because they always get us. But I've learned, you haven't seen them recently. You dug for those because I don't do that no more. I know better. Like,
at least you don't take pictures, right?
Yeah.
I got into fantasy football for a while, and the cool thing about fantasy football is it gives you a reason to root for every team.
Yeah.
Because you're not watching the teams, you're watching the
player.
players.
Yeah.
And if you're a smart fantasy football player, you're going to
Obviously
have people on every team. It don't matter whether you hate the team or not. If it's a good player, you want that player. And so it gives you a reason to watch all of them.
I've never tried it.
It kind of helped me with being able to,
get past the Seahawks.
I didn't get so wound up on whether my team lost or not after that,
Because they always do.
I've never tried that. Wanted to. I just pick like a backup team. Like I'm a huge Bills fan, second.
Yeah.
I'll never switch, but I'll watch them after the Cowboys,
Yeah, my backup team was worse than my favorite team. So
that's no fun.
Yeah, I was a Buccaneers backup team.
I was always stuck with I hate to even admit it, the Raiders. But because they suck, they never go anywhere. Right. I always pick the underdog, whatever the situation was. So
Super Bowl was worst case for me because like nobody wants to see the Chiefs win again,
No.
and Philly's like the ultimate enemy of the Cowboys.
Nobody wanted to see him win in the first place.
What the hell am I supposed to root for?
Honestly, that's exactly what it was. It was the worst situation for me.
No, I saw that. I figured I had to throw that in there.
Yeah,
hard time.
That's fair. So it's all open game.
So, when did you said your dad decided to retire in Roseburg?
Yes.
So how old were you when you came here?
I was 16. I was 16.
So high school.
Yeah,
almost done with high school.
Yeah, we were in Washington State before that. Yep. Came over here. He decided to, he got a job with, I think, Roseburg Forest Products. And yeah, that began the Oregon journey. Now, gosh, it's been a long time. My math's not the greatest, but I want to say getting close to 20 years probably.
Yeah, it seems like it's been about that long.
Yeah. A lot of it was a blur for this guy. I definitely went down the wrong path when I got here and got into drugs and stuff like that. So,
drugs in Roseburg, that's so weird.
I know, right?
That's weird. That's easy to do.
Like when I was an addict, we were like number 2 in the United States for meth, number 1 for opiates. And we're talking like Douglas County.
Right.
I know the meth was good.
Yeah.
I was all about it.
It was so good. It was bad.
As a community, we were proud of it, right? We're number 1.
I don't know. I didn't really commit.
Everyone's got to have something.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it definitely picked the wrong path for many years, but blessed to have made it out. Most people don't come back from that stuff.
That's life lessons, and that
that's
as long as you're learning, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were telling us at lunch a little bit about that. I had no idea, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean, for me, even I don't really think about it anymore. It's definitely almost like another person.
Yeah,
Yep.
Different chapter. That's over.
For sure.
Copy.
I actually, it's funny you say that because I have friends that, like, I've got one buddy and his wife, I'm pretty sure for like their first half of their marriage, she just detested me, just could not stand me. And so it kind of forced us apart. Like, I'm not super close with him anymore. And he used to be one of my best friends. And, but like years ago now, we were together for something and she was telling me, she's like, you're like 2 totally different people. She's like, you're not even that same person that you were back then. And,
Yep.
And,
it's got to make you feel good.
It's like a compliment, it makes me feel good because I feel bad about the person I was back then too.
For sure.
So, but yeah, no, it's cool. I like to hear people that
success,
have grown from that and come to be a success and for me, but just getting out of that rut is a success.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Not a lot of people can do that.
No, I'm definitely blessed. There's many years I didn't think I would ever be able to get clean. Either did really anyone. Mm-hmm. I mean, I missed, friends' weddings and all kinds of stuff like that because I was just not the person you invited to that stuff, right?
Sure.
And put my poor parents through hell. Probably aged them 15 years within like a year. It was pretty gnarly. But yeah, I mean, it's made me stronger. Obviously, I definitely feel like I've bounced back pretty good.
That's cool.
I think what doesn't kill you does make you stronger. I mean, and I think you find a lot of us entrepreneurs ended up having some kind of past like that, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I mean, whether you have the entrepreneurial spirit or you just own a business or you just run a business or manage or do whatever, if you're in that managerial or above position, you've learned to have some thick skin and grow from your mistakes because
obviously
it doesn't, and
if you haven't learned, then it's not going to last very long.
Deal with issues. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely feel like I've seen kind of the worst of worst in all aspects and dealt with the most craziest situations. Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff kind of helps make that tough skin, like you said. Yeah, even running other people's businesses, that takes just as much. I mean, and anyone who has to do more than just clock in and clock out, that's, I commend you because it's not always the fun stuff to do, but
yeah. Yep.
You started out in like the grocery industry and stuff, didn't you? As far as your work life.
Yeah. I mean, I was all over the place. I even ran off with a freaking carnival.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You were a carny?
I was a carny, dude. It was like still a junkie too.
From here in Roseburg?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all carnies are junkies.
Was it in green? Did it happen to be at Ray's? And green? I know a guy.
It was green, actually. I worked at the Purple Parrot, and one day they just came by, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Come with me. They actually called me Purple Parrot. That was my name.
Because that's where they associate.
Yeah.
That sounds like me. That sounds like a nickname I'd come up with.
That's a rough lifestyle, let me tell you. You might as well be homeless unless you're doing it right and have a camper and all that stuff. But yeah, that's the weather, and especially if you're, again, a junkie, that's not. I didn't last very long. I did it a couple times and didn't last very long.
Dude, I know I've gotten drugs from Carnies several times.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's very, very coordinated in some of those areas. Let me tell you, you try to do some stuff that's already taken up by other people in those companies, you're getting your ass kicked.
I remember
like a mini mafia right there. Yeah.
I remember one year, me and my buddy were down at the fair here, at the fairgrounds here. And it was like the first day of the fair. And we were down at the park that's by where they park all the Carney campers
by the museum.
And all that.
Yeah.
We were down there at the park, and we were freaking just like hiding out, smoking some weed. And this is back before any of that stuff was legal.
Right.
And one of the freaking Carney dudes came strolling up.
Pause it.
Oh, okay, hold on. All right. Sorry about that. I'm back. Anyways, so we were out there smoking pot. Just a couple of stupid fucking kids. And one of the Carney dudes came up, and he's like, hey, can I get a hit or whatever? And so we shared some, and then he brought out some that he had, and we're out there having a good old time. And then end of that, after that, for that whole week at the fair, every time we saw him, we'd get in his line for whatever ride he was running or whatever freaking game he was playing. And when we got up there, we'd go like we were handing him tickets, and he would hand us like a whole handful of tickets. Dude.
Nice.
It was like the trade-off after that.
It's like ongoing party, definitely, with the carnival. It's good times.
It seems like it's good times at the time, but
not
the best thing to be doing.
I wouldn't go back and do it again.
No, not at all.
Definitely some fun, but mostly not so much.
Yeah, I can't imagine that traveling with the carnival would be a fun thing to do,
dude. Especially when like you leave here, you go to the coast, and it's during like bad weather. I'm talking tents flying off the ground. Freezing! Like people don't realize how important things like socks are. Because your feet get real messed up, especially like with them shower trucks. You need shower shoes and like, cause all the grody feet. I mean, the living style is not very good. And I mean, not to like put down the carnival or anything, but like they've got a nice racket going. Cause basically you got people who don't have any money. They let you do like $20 draw a day. You're getting paid like $5
minimal
a day.
Money. Yeah.
By the time payday comes, you owe all your money back anyway. And then you're there doing it again. So you're basically, working to live in a crappy
for
environment.
Your labor.
And they hire people that nobody else will hire.
Exactly. So, there is no criteria for working as a carny. But yeah, it was an experience. But after that, it was mainly retail places. Worked my way up in Walmart, worked my way up in grocery outlet, usually management positions and stuff like that. And
nice.
Until I quit smoking with the use of vapor products and just became like my thing. I just wanted to help everyone quit smoking, and I did. Like, there's probably 12 people that smoked at grocery outlet out of the 30 employees.
That's badass.
Yeah, I helped everyone except like one stubborn person. Shout out to Randy.
Randy.
But he was actually my boss. But yeah, and then it's weird because I was never the guy who was like, oh, I'm going to own my own business or anything.
The Levitts were freaking...
Tom, man, that was my boss.
They were really good customers of mine at Lowe's forever.
Okay.
And I went to school with both of their daughters.
Annie.
And
Annie, I remember her. She worked there on and off.
Yeah, I went to school with actually, she was quite a bit younger than me, but I hung out with her and partied with her. But I went to high school with Buffy with her.
Buffy.
Oh yeah, I remember Buffy and her Dan, her husband. Yeah. They were in charge when I first started, and then they ended up getting their own store. Yeah, Tom's a good guy. He taught me actually a lot. And I didn't even realize it at the time, you know.
Sure.
When you're working for someone, you're like, oh, they're so stressed out and like they barely spend any time with you. And then it's like, now I'm that guy, and I realize why, you know.
Actually, they're molding you. Yeah.
But he was a fair dude, and yeah, it's funny because I actually asked him if he wanted to go into business with me.
Yeah.
And because at the time I didn't know anything about it, or about business at least, and he said no, and I'm thankful for that, obviously, because it's business partners is a thing I've seen go wrong a lot of times.
Right.
But yeah, I just took a leap of faith and started, you know, doing it out of my backpack, and then working in. I remember Pandora's Box.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
There's a gal named Tiffany that managed that place, and she dating one of my friends, and she tried my e-liquid from like his mod and was like, hey, you should come help us with because vaping was
and
just
that's when vaping just got started.
Got started. Like they had like some Chinese e-liquid in there, and they didn't have much. And so I was like, yeah, you know, sure, I'll sell you some. But she's like, well, why don't you, she's like, would you be interested in running a case from us and selling vape stuff? And then that way we have a section. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try that. And it was awesome because it's like, it was just this little tiny section. I'm just back there mixing e-liquid and, you know, selling the old school Chinese mods. And, but yeah, then the owners showed up like 2 months later, and they, I guess, saw my business and were jealous of it and wondering why they weren't getting a cut. And like, I left to the bank one day, and then I get a call from like the son. He's just like, yeah, your stuff's packed. You got to come get it. I was like, dude, I just paid rent.
Right.
But yeah, they booted me out because they wanted the business, and that's where I was, you know, off on my own, and got some offices, literally offices.
And you just started out by mixing your own.
Yeah, man. And for myself, you know, for myself and my friends, like I was just super passionate about it. And the flavor I quit smoking with was black honey tobacco. And after that, I didn't like any of the fruit stuff, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. So like I researched it. I put every bit of spare money I had for my paychecks into like quality ingredients. And then
that was one thing I was going to ask. Is that something you learned off the internet, or how did it come about?
How did you even get into that to start with?
I think so the first vape shop in Oregon was called Emerald Vapors. And that was my first experience with a real vape shop. It's what got me off those little cigalikes from back in the day. Mm-hmm. And that's where I found the black honey tobacco. And it was just like love at first sight for me. I threw my cigarettes out the window at a bum, and I was done from that point. And so I think I learned because they would mix stuff back there, and I learned from them kind of what they were doing. And then I don't know, I just had a knack for it, man. The first flavor I ever mixed was aiming to make that black honey tobacco, and I did it better than they did it. And all my friends were telling me the same thing. And so
I'm like, dude, you're onto something.
Yeah. And I think it was because I was willing to spend money on ingredients that weren't your normal, you know, like natural extracts and PG and stuff like that. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It kind of just took off, and
so you're just like mad scientist.
I seriously was. Like I went from like mixing drugs for a living to get high to mixing e-liquid to help people quit smoking. It was
that's crazy.
It totally kind of fed my normal like stuff that I was into. And yeah, from there it was, you know, figuring out the business aspect, the shop aspect, which customer service was second nature for me. And then, I just kind of got bigger and bigger, and I never once was like, this is my plan. I never expected to make money. It was just to help people quit smoking and be my own boss, I guess.
And the quit smoking thing is what you really got passionate about.
Oh yeah. I absolutely love helping people quit smoking. I feel like the genre has kind of gotten away from that a lot now, and it's more of a fad, especially like with the disposables you see in mini marts and stuff. But, that's what our stores are about. It's what I train on. I definitely am very passionate because we don't just sell stuff. We coach, like we help with coaching. People surrender their cigarettes. You know, we give them $5 off a setup. We don't make money off that. We just do it as kind of a ritual and to make sure that they leave relying on the products that we give them.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean,
it's changing the mindset.
Yeah, and I had no idea about that part of it until we had lunch. When we had lunch.
The proof's in the pudding. I mean, the science shows that it's at least 95% safer than smoking. You're getting away from the combustion and the tar, and no matter what the misinformation and propaganda you see, that's coming from big pockets, tobacco, pharma. They don't like us. They've been trying to get rid of us for a long time because cigarette sales have plummeted in the last decade.
Definitely.
And so getting around that sucks, but otherwise the proof's in the pudding. You know, there's over 13 million of us in the US now that vape, and most of us are, and then even the ones that created it, we're all ex-smokers that figured out, you know, we figured out a way to help ourselves quit smoking. And then we started becoming successful doing it. And so that's where the battle comes from and the misinformation. But truth is, you get to keep your habit and not die from it.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty, when you were talking about that at lunch, I was pretty blown away by that part of it because I had no idea.
No
idea. I guess I only saw the negative part,
or the propaganda, like you say.
Tobacco-free kids, Truth Initiative. Those commercials are shoved everywhere in your face. They're all lies. Every single thing that they say has been debunked. Everything. Yeah. But again, when you have big money on the opposite end, they're able to push
money talks
for sure. Especially push, even George Soros puts in millions of dollars towards this propaganda machine. So the truth is harder to find. You can't just Google it. You need to come to experts who, spent their life like I have, last 10 years of my life, researching it and living it. But again, the proof's in the pudding. Not one person has ever died from vaping nicotine products. And there's not a single person I've ever heard who hasn't felt a million times better. And then of course it goes further than that because we help people walk off with the vapor after they've quit the smoking. So it's not something where you're just, changing one habit for another.
Damn near full circle,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's been rewarding.
Did you see any type of upkeep or uptick, I guess, when Oregon legalized marijuana as far as the dispensaries and
So I know a lot of people think that we're kind of similar, but it's really two different industries. In fact, those started about the same time that I did.
You don't cross the product.
No, we sell vaporizers for that kind of stuff. So like herbal vaporizers and stuff, because I'm all for helping people quit smoking anything, even marijuana.
No,
it's combustion, right?
I was just wondering if there was this big, if you've seen I guess popularity or uptick in people coming in.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say the dispensaries brought an uptick, but the biggest one I could think of was COVID. That was huge.
Yeah.
Everyone's worried about a respiratory thing. A lot of people won't smoke cigarettes. Also, major tax hit on all of us at that point. So cigarettes were expensive. We found a way to keep our prices down for the most part, and so no matter what, when you switch to vapor, you're saving hundreds of dollars a month, thousands a year. So,
right.
And can you put a price on your health on top of that? Right. So,
the things that people don't look at.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it up to light.
Exactly. It's definitely changed over the last decade. We started one way and we're now, everyone sells disposables. China's just flooded us with those things. And so a lot of people go to mini marts for that stuff, and there's not much community and education as there used to be. And I don't really think those help people quit smoking as well. Well, I know they don't help people quit smoking as well. I just don't know if they help many people quit smoking at all. They're all high nicotine. In my opinion, they all taste like crap. We sell them, I've got them for customers because I want to have everything people need. But for the most part, when people come in for that stuff, we try to show them a better way, a cheaper way, American made e-liquid, instead of, a complete Chinese product. So
what is in the e-liquids? Is it?
It's pretty simple. 4 main ingredients: propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, nicotine or non-nicotine. So 3 ingredients if you take the nicotine out of it, which some do, and we offer that, and then flavoring. Right. So
is the flavoring all natural stuff, or is it?
It's all across the board. I mean, we use a lot of natural extracts. Then you got to be careful because you can't use any oil products. A lot of people call it oil, but it's not oil. Yeah, it's not oil. So we tend to spend a lot more money on our ingredients than most people do. But yeah, for the most part, you can't really, there's not much else you can use for e-liquid. So that's the kind of thing where it's like, people are like, oh, you don't know what's in it. Well, even if it's a garbage company, I know it's in it, right?
But you were telling me that the other parts besides the flavoring is the same thing that's in like nebulizers and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So propylene glycol also acts as a germicide. They clean out hospital air vents with it. It is in some inhalers. It's funny because a lot of people, when they start vaping, if they were asthma and using inhalers, they don't need their inhalers anymore. It seems to help people clear out the crap from smoking a lot quicker. There's so many cool studies. Like there's a study from the 70s, and bad at this. I don't remember who it was by, but basically he took 2 cages of mice, right? And he shot the influenza virus in both. So gave both these cages of mice the flu, but in one cage he shot the propylene glycol in. The one that didn't get the propylene glycol, they all died from influenza. The ones that got propylene glycol, they survived the flu. And I've seen this firsthand by being a vapor for almost 15 years now. It's pretty crazy how much it helps you fight off the sicknesses and stuff that's going around.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't get sick, but man, not like I used to.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then vegetable glycerin, that's in all your food products, your shampoo.
Damn near everything.
Yeah, it's in everything.
That's just kind of a binder, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's for us, why we use vegetable glycerin is what makes the cloud. It produces the cloud and gives you the effects of smoking.
Gotcha.
Propylene glycol doesn't really do enough of that. It also smooths it out where the propylene glycol is a little harsher. The vegetable glycerin is a lot softer on your throat. But yeah, what people fail to realize and where all that misinformation should fall flat is, well, for one, no matter what, it's at least 95% safer than smoking. That's by the Royal College of Physicians, which is made up of 36,000 of the most prestigious doctors in the world. And they're the same dudes that told you that smoking was going to kill you back in the 40s, right? When nobody was listening. And again, nobody's listening.
Right.
But past that, it's combustion. If you light something on fire, you are inhaling fire, which is scarring your lungs and causing problems.
Yeah.
If you are vaporizing something, you are heating it to a temperature that is causing a vaporization, which is what makes it way less dangerous. Like I was saying earlier, you could take a nasty cigarette and vaporize it and be 90% safer than you are smoking it. So then you take something like e-liquid with less ingredients, and that's where you get something that's at least 95% safer.
That doesn't have the tar.
Yeah, no tar.
Yeah.
You know, people smoke for the nicotine, but they die from the tar.
What they use for curing the tobacco, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
I'm a cigar smoker, so I don't inhale. And
yeah, I mean,
okay,
about
Bill.
the tobacco for me, it's not
Bill Clinton
nicotine,
there.
So.
Yeah,
never.
Bill Clinton there. Yeah, I mean, you know, cigar once in a while. We have our vices, right? I'm passionate about helping people quit smoking because I don't want to see people die a horrible death.
That's awesome. I was telling you at lunch, my wife's finally, I think, serious about quitting smoking.
What's your wife's name?
Sarah.
Sarah, you got to come see me. I'm going to help you out.
So
it's gonna be easy.
I think she'll be willing to come down and see you.
Awesome. Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm excited for that.
I can tell by her attitude she's actually serious about doing it this time. So
yeah, it's a hard thing, especially wrapping your head around it and going, okay, I'm going to do this. We've all tried a million times as smokers. And I think that's the part that doesn't click until it clicks, or two, you come see someone like us. Like, we're going to take the time to make sure we find you the right setup, a flavor that you're in love with, right? That's an important part to it. If you don't like the flavor or it's not going to cover that craving, it's not going to work. But once we do that, and then we give you a couple tricks, just a quick one off the bat that we do is, we call it a 1 minute rule. And, the salt-based nicotine that is more popular these days, it's an instant thing. It hits, as soon as a cigarette hits your lips, you're getting nicotine. As soon as you hit this nicotine, you're getting nicotine in your system, right? So we say it's a 1 minute rule. You're going to leave, you're going to crave for a cigarette at some point, right? Human nature, whether someone cuts you off in traffic, pisses you off, whatever it is. All we ask is that before you bum a cigarette or drive to the store, take your vaporizer and time 1 minute. Time it. Look at your watch, look at the clock, wrench on that thing for 1 minute. If you do that, you're going to realize you got all the nicotine you needed, minus the freaking chemicals that are killing you, and you'll be able to move on with your day.
Sure.
And so that's something that we instill in our customers. And I'll even go a step further and be like, don't look at this as quitting. Just humor me and switch to this for 2 days and follow this. Once you get through those 2 days, you're like, shit, I can do this. Yeah. Once you hit a week, the habit's broken. And all of a sudden, you're enjoying your vaporizer way more. Because cigarettes taste like shit. Even smokers can admit they taste like shit.
Definitely.
So once you get something that does the same thing that actually tastes good, you really start gravitating towards it. And the feel, I mean, you see the health benefits so quick. Within 9 months, so much stuff in your body changes. Food starts tasting better, or you find out that you've been eating things you don't like the taste of.
What the hell is this?
Yeah. You sleep better, you breathe better. Your heart and lungs start to heal themselves in certain ways. It's crazy. It's like, for me, I smoked for 14 years and I vaped for 15 years. I walk into a doctor, they have no idea that I ever smoked or I vape. My lungs are perfect. Right. And that's a crazy thing to think about, right? This is one of the best inventions that has ever happened. And sadly, because of human greed and evil, it's been
the monetary dollar.
It's been knocked down so many times. But the truth is, and there's a documentary on this, 1 billion lives could be saved in the next freaking century if we were to stop fighting it. And just look at UK. They hand them out in hospitals. They're all for it because they don't have the tobacco money and the lobbyists and the pharmaceuticals.
No, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. So that's been my mission for 10 years, and I'm going to keep doing it until they freaking drag me out or we figure out a compromise to where they actually let us save lives.
Nice. Well, one of the things I saw when I was doing my research is several times in your social media, you've said stuff about that you went from a backpack to owning your own business or to having your own thing.
Yeah.
So how's that?
That alone is pretty friggin' cool.
Dude, I forget that even happens. And like once in a while, I'll like, be on vacation or something going, holy shit. Like I was a freaking junkie. Should have died with a needle in my arm. And now I'm in Hawaii or something on vacation and I'm helping people for a living and got to do it that way. Like, so I'm doing good for the community. Yeah, it's crazy. I just, it was that grocery outlet. I was just hustling out of the backpack, not even really for money. I mean, I was doing it for money, but I was just trying to help people
because
quit.
You had started mixing your own shit for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was just, even before I started mixing, I was like running people up to Eugene to Emerald Vapors. Like my buddy Jesse, he was the first person I helped. And all of a sudden we all got these big ass mods in our hands and we're vaping because that's what was popular at the time. But yeah, it just, like I said, I never intended to have a business. And then even when I did start the business, I never looked far enough ahead to think that I would be successful at it. It just happened from just pure passion of wanting to do something. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
No, that's freaking badass. And I think it's cool that, the whole thing started just because you were so inspired by them helping you stop smoking.
Yeah. And right time, right place too, right? If I tried to do what I did 11 years ago now, I mean, I did that with $1,000 and I borrowed another $1,000 from my parents. $2,000. I started a business that now is 5 shop locations, a lab and headquarters location across 3 different counties in Oregon, 2 different states and West Coast to East Coast. I mean,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty inspirational.
Yeah, it's super blessed. Like I said, it's definitely, I thank God for everything I have. It's not really a whole bunch of my doing. I'm not that cool, but
no. I think you've done quite a bit.
I appreciate it, And then again, my employees, like I said at lunch, I've got of the best managers in the world, and I have some great employees too. And I love that aspect. And I know you give back to the community a lot too. But even just in the company, being able to like prop people up to make more money than I ever did. Not one of my employees makes less than I did when I worked for someone else. And yes, of course, minimum wage has gone up too. But giving people something where they can grow and there's no ceiling, and there's incentives and stuff that I felt like I didn't get. I love doing that. And I love watching the ones that freaking run with it,
That's awesome.
Well, one of the coolest things, and I've seen this even before here, from past jobs and stuff too, is, you have employees and they'll come and they're head down all, I don't want to have this conversation, but I need to put my notice in because I got another job.
Yeah.
I'm starting my own job.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own business. And, they're always like, they don't want to, like they're
worried.
They're worried that you're going to be mad at them.
Yep.
But that's the whole point of having employees is you want them to do better. You know? Well, if you're a good manager or a good owner or whatever is, you want to build your employees up and help them to get to their next step. If I was running a business that was a career, if I was a trade or something like that, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But I got a retail store.
Yeah.
Nobody's retiring from here. I don't even know if I can retire from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My employees definitely aren't going to retire from here.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just a job. So if I'm not doing the best that I can to help them get to the next step, then I'm not doing my job. And for them to feel like they need to worry about what I'm going to say, I'd just be an asshole if I was like that.
Amen.
Which
brother.
I am a little bit of an asshole.
Right.
I think we all have to be to run businesses, honestly.
Whatever. I don't want to. I told you at lunch, one of my mentors in the past told me that the main job of a manager is to give your employees the tools they need to succeed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I've lived by that. That's what I've tried to do my whole life. And, sometimes I've failed, but for the most part, I try. And I like to think that I've done a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. You don't just stand back and say, figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of times I'd like to say that for sure.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
And I have said it.
Well, you get good ones and you get bad ones too, right?
Right.
Some people are just lazy these days. But for me, it's like when I find the right ones, I mean, yeah, I have had those situations where they grow and want to do their own thing, and I'm totally supportive about it. But I also want to keep the ones I can, and that's why I bend over backwards to try to make sure they get paid right, that I'm there for them, that there's incentives, that they're appreciated.
That's awesome.
I think posts you've done with your employees, and I mean, they look like they're happy. They look like they got. Like they love where they work and they love what they're doing. So I mean,
I
you must
do
be doing
think so.
something right.
Yeah. I would say, if I'm being real, I would say 85%.
Yeah.
I would think all are very happy. Obviously you can't please everyone.
Right.
But I really do try. And I do a lot of things that I think a lot of bosses don't do. And I'm not stingy. You know, my motto is like, when I bring people in, I'm like, you know, as a store makes money, you make money. And there is no cap off to that. So it's like, what you show me is what you're going to get paid. And that's why not everyone gets paid the same thing. And then,
we had the same employee once.
Oh yeah.
Freaking shout out to Garrett.
Shout out to Garrett.
Oh, Garrett.
He was kind of a meathead, but I really feel like he's got a good head on his shoulders. I just feel like maybe I got him when he was young.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
age cures everything.
Someday he's going to have something big. I think he's going to be successful one of these days.
No, Garrett's a cool guy, but yes, he's definitely young when he worked for me as well. But he helped the company.
You said he's what really got you into guns.
Oh God. Yeah. He talking about, I can build ARs and I can build you one for this amount. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I want one of those.
Prove it.
And then you're like, well, then you find out about furniture. Oh God, that's that much money. And then you just like slowly start getting the bug.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, you know, God, probably helps.
You know, the worst part of that, once you start getting the bug, is when you run into other people that are into it too.
Yeah.
And you get to see what they got.
They all talk shit about what you've got.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like,
what are you talking about?
Out in public?
Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. I guess I haven't experienced too much of that. I work so damn much. I don't really have a whole lot of time for friends these days.
It's like shoe envy. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you got them fucking Nikes, eh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm looking at your stuff on the wall, man, and I'm definitely a little envious of some stuff.
What?
But I want it all, you know?
So when I started running a gun store, before I owned the gun store, I was just managing. You know, I do the sportsman show. I do these different things. And I just felt obligated to have cool stuff. You know, I'm like, I can't.
Something to grab someone's attention.
That's a must.
If you've got a car dealership, you can't have a fucking busted ass freaking Gremlin that you're driving around. You know, you got to have a decent car because you own a car dealership. Well, I own a gun store. I have to have guns that look cool.
Yep.
Facts. Absolutely perfect justification.
So I felt obligated to have that. And so I don't even shoot. I hardly even shoot my guns.
Really?
My employees have shot all of my guns more than I have by far. And
a couple times a year, right?
But you know, my guns are good enough to go to the show and show what we can do.
Yeah.
And it inspires people to see what they could do with their guns, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a piece of art, I think.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be just something that you never pull out of the gun safe. It can be something that's badass and you want to show off and let people say, "Hey, that's cool as hell," you know?
100%.
Oh, agreed.
And so that's what I have. So
I just got the bug, straight up. I mean, I am total prepper now. I want to be prepared for everything. And I am just so pro Second Amendment.
Like, I've got my bunker.
Yeah, I mean, look at my shirt. My shirt says mobile safe space.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I'm all about, you know, concealed carrying, protecting yourself, protecting your family.
So you don't miss a zombie movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, not at all, man. I literally live my life off of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I bought so many things because of the show Walking Dead. You know, I'm ready for that zombie apocalypse. I really am.
Dude, I can't wait till I can just freely shoot people. I think it'd be awesome.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
I watched the funniest.
Please break into my house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I know it sounds sick, but I'm like,
Especially
No,
if
it
you're part of
doesn't.
the HOA.
I am so ready for that shit. And I don't sleep. You know what I'm saying? So, like, wrong house, motherfucker. Like, let's go. One of these days, you know?
The Walking Dead thing. I watched the funniest meme today where the guy gets woke up and he looks out the window through his blinds and he sees zombies everywhere. He gets this big smile on his face. I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Yeah.
Yes.
He goes out there and he just starts whacking and killing all these people. And then it shows it's a movie set. And they're all like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? After he killed all the people.
I haven't recently got the Rick Grimes gun. The Colt Python, right?
Yeah.
357 Magnum. Oh yeah.
I just read an article on that too. That revived the sales of that
Oh,
gun.
I believe it. Like I got that, and now, well, my neighbors have called the cops on me because of that gun. Actually, it's pretty loud. You can't really suppress those things, or if you can, you shouldn't. I don't know. But I'm love the zombie stuff and absolutely ready for it. And I want my family to be trained. My wife's got her concealed.
Perfect.
Super proud of her for that.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know, want to train my kids. Like, you know,
You're
this day and age,
you're not
never
going to
get
train
yourself-
them to run from gunshots, right?
Shout out to the neighbors.
I mean, honestly, it's responsible to teach kids that stuff.
100%.
Because, I mean, eventually they're going to come across something, and if they've never even been exposed to it, that's when people make mistakes. That's when kids end up playing with shit they're not supposed to.
You know, the laws, the feel good laws is what I call them, like the gun lock and all that shit.
Yeah.
I come from, I'm dating myself, whatever, but I come from an era. There was guns everywhere in my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
We just knew from.
You were taught properly.
Don't touch that fucking gun.
Right.
You're getting your ass whooped if you touch that gun.
Yes, sir. Such a foreign concept,
And then,
parenting, you know?
Of course, you were taught what that thing does. That's a tool.
Right.
So at a very young age, you knew that that was a tool that will hurt you, one end or the other, you know? And
yes, sir. Now we're
can't do that now.
Now we're nanny stated.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
tell us everything we can't
That's
have.
why I call it a feel-good law.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and anyone
it's not going to help.
that hangs out around me, I mean, you go to my house, there's guns all over the fucking place. You get in my truck, there's guns all over the fucking place.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I'm not, I don't know, maybe it's irresponsible, but a gun is useless if it's locked in a safe.
I
definitely.
agree.
So everywhere you look, I don't have a safe. I've got a couple gun cabinets.
You don't have a safe?
I have two
I would
safes.
never have guessed that.
I have two safes, but
I
they're
do
not
have
locked.
A safe. I do have a
They're
safe.
open.
Okay.
But honestly, there's like one gun in it. And that's just in case I need to get to that gun to protect the stuff that's in the safe.
Okay, that's fair.
Mike, I have a couple gun cabinets that lock.
Okay.
There's some guns in them,
Yeah.
but there's also guns in almost every room of my
In the
house.
corners.
Oh, I'm definitely the same way with that.
And there's
I don't have one in the chamber ready, but they're fucking loaded.
Yes. If it's on me, it's in the chamber. But like otherwise,
and then,
Right,
and then my
right.
truck, I'm horrible, dude. Like if
Yeah,
I
you
do
are.
go out if I go on a mountain drive or I go to a show or something where I have to take guns, they may or may not get put away within the next month.
So just all over the back.
So there are always guns just laying around in my truck. And I mean, shit, when I went to the Sportsman show this last year, I grabbed a gun case out of the store here that I had in the back room, one of my gun cases, so that I could grab a couple guns. There's a freaking AR in there. I forgot that I even had. It was just in there from the last time
You're
I
like,
went out. And I was like,
that's where
shit,
that gun went.
I forgot I even had that. Where the hell was that?
Yes,
It
sir.
was in storage. That's what it was.
So, I mean, that's just how I am.
We got a lot in common with that. I'm a little more clean around the house just because we do have a 3-year-old.
Sure.
Well, I got my grandkids in the house
100%.
all the time. And the guns aren't like where they can get to
Right.
them.
You can safety booby trap or whatever. Like if obviously there's certain guns they can't do anything with.
Yeah. Well, but we're also teaching our grandkids. My oldest grandkid is 6 now. She's 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's 6. She's been around guns her very first birthday. She got 2 guns for her birthday
Nice.
from me, and so I mean she's already got 3 or 4 guns, and she's 6 and she's never shot any of them yet. but she's got a good collection going.
So
Nice.
I got in trouble with both ex-wives because both of my kids, or all 6 of my kids, by the time they were walking, they had shot a gun.
Nice.
And
I'm all for that.
it kind of didn't go over very good with one of the ex-wives and the grandparents and stuff like that. But the kid knew what the gun would do.
Right.
So never had to worry about him picking up a gun.
Knowledge is power. Like, seriously, it's such a foreign concept to just freaking parent these days. I haven't said that at the
if you're worried
Capitol.
about your kid being safe around guns,
Yeah.
teach them about fucking guns.
Right.
What they're for, what they
Yeah.
do.
You can teach them that they're unsafe
This
and
is
you should
bad.
be away from
Don't
them all the
touch.
time. If you're scared to death of guns, teach your kids that guns are scary. If you see one, just don't touch it.
Yeah.
But
Period.
you have to teach them about it. You can't teach them that they're imaginary and freaking, you know.
I like to think how much my daughter is going to be able to protect herself too.
That's another cool thing.
She's 15 now,
Yeah.
and I've been teaching her shooting since, like, I don't know, 6, 7 maybe. And she's starting to get her own collection of guns. But it's like, you know, that's a cool thing. Her boyfriend someday, she's not allowed to have boyfriends yet, but when that comes, you know, he needs to know she
Yeah.
can shoot. She's got a gun. Don't mess with her.
She's not just going to call dad.
Yeah, and I love that aspect. And then you can tell him that you got
Yeah.
a crazy dad with a freaking arsenal, right? And I make that known as well. So
My oldest daughter, she was in the Navy for a while. And when she was at boot camp, when it got to time for them to do in the Navy, they teach you a little bit of like an AR-15, and they also teach you a handgun in the Navy. And when they got to their firearms part of it, they basically had everybody sit down and they're like, who has experience with firearms? And my daughter was blown away because
nobody knew shit.
like what was crazy is she said that she said probably 75% of the people that she went to boot camp with, number one, had never even
Touched a gun.
touched a gun in her life.
Crazy.
And number two, had never learned how to drive either.
What?
Because lots of them are
Yeah.
from bigger cities and stuff, and they don't drive. They just take
Uber
public
lifestyle.
transport and stuff.
Bus.
And so they found out that, which she thought was weird. And then they started actually doing a little bit of training, and they started showing them what they were going to learn about. And they were asking, well, do you know anything about this? Do you know anything about this? Do you know anything about this? And my daughter's like, yeah, my dad owns all that stuff. and,
Nice.
and they actually ended up putting her in charge of checking guns in and out to everybody and making sure they were safe.
Very cool.
And so she thought that was pretty cool. And then when she got out, she got her concealed carry permit. And one of the proudest moments of my life, really. This is great. She's working at a place here in town. And she's got her pistol. I sold her a SIG 365.
Great gun.
And she got a inside the waistband holster for it and all this stuff. And she's like, I asked her just one day out of the blue. I was just like, so have you got to shoot that thing? And she goes, yeah, I've shot it several times. And I was like, oh, really? Yeah. I said, are you actually keeping it close to you or whatever? She goes, yeah. Once in a while, I have to take it off when I'm at work, though, because she was pregnant at the time. She goes, it starts digging into my stomach. And
Yeah.
I was like, you're wearing it at work?
While
I'm
you're at
pregnant?
work?
And she's like, well, yeah, I can't
duh,
protect myself
Dad.
if I don't have it on me.
Why
hell
would
yeah.
I not?
I was like, this is the proudest moment of my life.
Oh, I don't blame you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I felt so cool about that. I mean, I thought that was the neatest thing ever.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
I can imagine a holster would be hard if you were pregnant.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
I can't stand them as they are.
I can't wear an inside of the waistband holster at all because I'm too fat and I have to cinch my pants up so tight that I can't fit a holster in there or my pants will fall off again still.
I can't handle it. I know it's bad, but I back carry. But
Yeah.
it's not a
You
good
want to know
thing.
what's
But
super comfortable?
What's that?
Takes a day or two to get used to. Ankle carry, dude.
yeah, but you can only do like a 22, right?
No, you can carry
Fuck
anything.
no.
on
I guess it
your
depends
ankle.
what kind of pants you wear, right?
Yeah, you can carry anything on your ankle. And after a day or two, you don't
Bring-
even notice that it's there.
You bring them bell bottoms back.
Yeah.
Okay. Some Jenko jeans.
Yeah, dude. I because I can't do like inside the waistband and outside the waistband. A lot of times,
You're drawing attention to yourself.
it's really obvious you're carrying in a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
So
Don't you have a
ankle carry
coat?
every once in a while?
Don't you have a concealed carry coat with the pocket in it?
Well,
There's
it's
always-
not really made for that, but a gun fits right in there.
There's great things for winter, but then you get into summer and you can't really,
Well, I'm a fat guy, dude. It's always summer.
Okay. Fair. I mean, I run hot myself. But yeah.
I don't start getting cold till it's about 25 degrees,
Yeah.
and that's only if I've been sweating or something.
Yeah. No, I've been back carry for a long time, but I don't know. I feel like I practice that way.
There's not a right or wrong way to carry.
Well,
No.
It's whatever's comfortable to you.
yeah, I guess the argument at first when I first started doing it was like, oh, well, if you get in a fight, you get pushed over and you fall directly back on your back. I'm like, dude, I may be over 40, but I'm pretty nimble. Like I'm not falling
not
directly
like
on my
you're
back. You
gonna
know what I'm
turn
saying?
or something.
Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
concern myself with that. And I found it easier to not imprint and
If I
stuff.
get in a fight and I fall over, obviously I've chosen to fight.
Yeah. There's that too.
If I get in a fight that I need my gun, I'm not getting pushed over.
Yeah.
True.
I'm going to pull my fucking gun.
Two different situations,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
If I let somebody hit me, it's because it's not a good enough situation for me to pull a gun on that fucker.
Exactly.
You
No, I agree with that too. So, yeah, it's worked for me. It's what I like. And let me tell you, I've spent some money on holsters. I have tried them all.
dude, everybody does.
Yeah.
There's no. If you really are serious about concealed carrying, you're going to have 3 or 4 holsters for every fucking gun.
for
you
every
have.
outfit.
Because even if you find the most comfortable holster, it's only going to work when you're wearing jeans and a fucking t-shirt or a sweatshirt. It's not going to work when you're wearing freaking basketball shorts or whatever.
Right.
So you've got a different way to carry for everything you're wearing.
For sure.
One of my bosses has the ultralight slim Kimber.
Yeah.
He just has it in his back pocket. That's his
Back
holster.
pocket.
That's his holster.
Hey, whatever works, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I'm built. But I love back carry because it's like it's hidden and I don't wear.
Well, it's just like people that appendix carry.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't care how
Exactly.
skinny I am. I'm not putting that shit.
Dude, I
aimed
can.
at my junk all day long. Fuck that.
There's that, right? But then also, like, I feel great when I'm standing or I can handle it.
But as soon as you sit down, you're fucked.
And like my buddy who
Yeah.
basically helped like my addiction with guns and stuff like that, ex-military dude. Shout out to Travis. Anyway, he uses like the tier 1 holster, which is a great holster, and I purchased it. But when he sits down, he's just like pulls it up and flops it over. I'm just like that does, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Sean, my guy that works here,
yeah,
he's got a couple guns and he's got that suppressor now so that he can try and carry concealed suppressed.
what?
But he appendix carries, and he's talking about how that suppressor, after he has to check it a couple times a day to make sure it's not getting loose. I'm like, so basically, you getting up and down, your junk is unscrewing the suppressor. So when you pull it out and shoot someone in the face, not only are you shooting them in the face,
You're shooting him
You're
in
like-
the face.
freaking putting some ball juice on it.
Oh no.
And he's like, well, yeah, sort of, but I got underwear on.
He's like,
Oh,
yes
my
and
God.
no.
I was like, I don't care, dude. If it can touch my junk,
Yeah.
it's right in the wrong spot.
That's a bad day for
Wrong
someone.
place.
That's not in the right spot, dude.
What? I mean, are we talking like small can here? What? Like,
It's the Spectre 9. Like,
cool bullshit.
Yeah.
Concealing with that.
Yeah.
Well, he's got that, and then he's got a JK, the one with all the different, every baffle you can unscrew and make it shorter if you want.
Stackable, basically.
Yeah, he's got one of those too, and that's what he uses, but it unscrews really easy, he said, so that's the only downfall to it.
Huh.
You got to be careful.
I love Sean, but I got more questions now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be back in June, so
Awesome. I know, like, I asked him,
you can.
I'm
ask
always
him.
bothering you guys for shit. And
You can ask him, do you clean your fucking ball sweat off of your can once a week or what?
it's not a Spectra, it's a sweatshirt.
he carries the man wipes everywhere
Yeah,
he goes.
I don't do
Oh.
that shit, dude.
Dude, that's
No.
crazy. I mean, I just got one of those holsters that the outer carry ones that you can use a suppressor on.
Yeah.
I don't remember what brand it was, but I love that. That's like what I train with. But yeah, I could not, like, that's
You
a
wanna know
lot of
what's
gun.
really comfortable is I had a leg holster
That's what Jamie has.
for hunting season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not concealed carry at all. It's
Right.
definitely open carry. But during hunting season, like I found that if I carried it on my waist, if I put my rifle on the sling,
Hit it.
I was hitting my fucking gun all the time, and it'd make noise or just annoy me.
Yeah.
You know? So then I got that leg holster, and I just forgot it was even there.
Yeah.
And it was like comfortable, perfect. So, I mean, I really like that.
Yeah, if I could do that all day and not bring attention to myself, it would, because that's exactly what the suppressor holster I have is. It's attached to your belt, but then it also tightens around your leg.
Yeah.
And you
So
can,
it's not flopping if you.
yeah, exactly.
Sure.
And you can get a drop one that's like further down or medium. And yeah, it's great. Like if I ever freaking go to war, like that's what I'm grabbing.
Well, and those are really good for if you're going to go shoot in a competition or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they all require that you have it holstered.
Gotcha.
But if you want to shoot suppressed, there's not a lot of holsters that work.
Yep.
So
I want to get into that. It seems so interesting to me. Competition shooting. It seems fun.
I don't even care about competition shooting. I just like to shoot. They call it a competition, but it's 10 old dudes that are all meeting up and
Oh yeah.
nobody's timing anything. And you're just,
Hit
this
the
is
target.
the scenario, you shoot it. This is the scenario, you
Hit
shoot
the
it.
damn target.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because if you get really into competition shooting, I mean, that's like an athletic freaking event.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I mean,
Big
those
money.
guys are physically fit and shit, and I'm not
Gotcha.
made for that yet. But
Gotcha.
Both my nieces and my sister and brother-in-law, they do the competition quick draw with the
Cowboy action.
cowboy
Okay.
action quick draw. And that's kind of interesting to watch. And
Yeah, I need to get out more. I wish I didn't work so much because that stuff sounds fun.
We'll have to go shooting sometime.
Oh, I'm down. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any opportunity to put that on the calendar, I am down. Just when I go by myself, it's like, okay, well, I should probably be working. But if I set it up with a friend, now it's like, okay, I've
It's a
committed to
networking
something.
event.
It is. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm absolutely down for that. Especially now that I can't shoot on my property for a while. Thanks to my neighbors.
Dude, I'm telling you should just do it and tell them to fuck off.
Well, I plan to. I'm going to build a outdoor-indoor range first so they can't see me doing it. They can just hear me
But
doing
also, you should get one of those predator bird things that just get every 15 minutes.
Heck yeah.
And if they complain, say, hey, there's no rules against having a garden.
I don't want
And
the
I wanna
birds on my
I want to
grapes.
keep things out of my garden. This is the only way I can find to do it.
it. Yeah, it might come to that, Carlos. It might come to that.
Get the blast cannon. Kaboom.
Yeah.
I'm not backing down. I'll
Set
tell
your
you that
yard
much.
up like it's a fucking vineyard.
Vineyard. It's
Those
on.
guys
It's
are
on a
hating
timer.
it, dude.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I will win. It just might take a while.
Yeah.
But
Even if it means that you have to burn your neighbors' houses down.
is this recording still?
Hey, I know a guy.
Thank you.
Takes a phone call. Dirty D.
yeah.
Which is
No, I don't envy you on that. That would be a pain in the ass.
No, especially when it's my first home and super excited about it. And
totally
I
unfortunate.
spent a lot of extra money for property, and that was my main reason was to shoot. And I cleared it with everyone I talked to.
You are one of the only people I've ever met that bought property. Like when you said you have 5 acres, but somebody that actually invested in property, but also ended up with an HOA. So I don't.
Dude, let me tell you. Okay,
That
so
just sounds like a horrible combination.
They lied to you.
it was a long time of, not a long time, but for our time range, it was a long time of looking. We found another place that was like 1 acre, super secluded. I'm talking 50 freaking acres of forest all around. And last minute, the guy's like, I don't want to sell my house now. We're like,
fuck.
what the hell? So we wasted like 2 months on this.
Yeah.
And then nothing else was popping up with property that had the kind of,
And you were also on a time frame because you were trying to make it happen for your wedding and stuff.
I wanted to move into that place. I wanted to be ready to move in after our wedding. And so it was a huge time crunch.
Yeah.
And then we found what's called a very sought after property in Cottage Grove. And it had everything that we needed and wanted. At first I was like, there's no way this property is going to work. Cause it is kind of like looked like a golf course, right? It's just
Is
a
that
big,
the east or west side of the highway for I-5?
let me see. I'm bad with my
If you're-
directions
if
here.
you're going
If
north.
I'm going north, it is, never eat shredded. Yeah, it's east. Yes, I just went there.
Wow.
Yes, I just went there.
I got
that's
it.
That's a school classic. But
I love it.
But
That's the
I was
best.
like, I don't see how you can shoot here because there are houses, not in every direction, but somewhere in the directions.
Sure.
And the guy that sold to me is like, no, he's like, oh, I've had family shoot. He's like, the neighbor shoots all the time. And then I stepped onto the neighbor's property line by accident. And he came out there real fast.
What are you doing?
Yeah. On a golf cart. And then he became cool. And we started talking. He's like, oh, dude, I got all these, cans and I shoot all the time and blah, blah, blah. And then my realtor opened his mouth for some reason. I love you, Zach, but he was like, he wants to know if he can build an underground bunker, which is something I don't want people to know about.
Right.
But this guy's like, oh, I'll go in with you on an underground bunker.
He's like, you should come check mine
like,
out.
I don't want to hang out with you for that long.
I'm talking like total
We
second.
can conjoin them.
Talking total Second Amendment guy, right? So when he tells me he shoots, I believe him.
Right.
And I looked at the HOH rules. It said nothing about not shooting. And then, of course, I move in. I shoot it once in a while, and all of a sudden I get a sheriff call and saying,
in all reality,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this out here. It might be his wife.
oh shit.
And he's just saying, okay, honey, yeah, we'll
He's just on
we'll
that
call the
leash, huh?
cops.
Yeah, I don't know. He definitely not someone I want to be friends with anymore. Like
People are fuckers.
they are. People suck in general. That's kind of something I say a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna figure it out one way or another.
Yeah.
Because I was planning on building a range. Now I just need to like make it hide in plain sight. I think is the goal.
You can do
Match
some-
it to the house. Match it to the shop.
You can do some pretty cool shit with a Connex container.
Oh yeah, that's true as well. I'm planning on going big though. Like I am so. This is my like number one hobby. I want a cool range, and so I've got a really good contractor, and we're gonna make some stuff happen. I just hope that hope it's smooth down the road.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, I just nominated my wife to be the next president of the OHA. We'll see if they'll let that slide.
Dude, that's awesome. That's brilliant. That's a brilliant plan.
I mean, I think so.
Yes.
If you can't control the freaking board that is there,
Join them.
take over the fucking board.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Yeah, I guess we have 15 plots.
Isn't that how government works?
Yeah, oh, weird, right? There's 15 plots, 15 votes. So, and I did actually send a group email out after I got the cops called. I mean, to everyone, introducing myself, letting them know what I'm doing and how safe I'm being about it. And like, you guys could have talked to me type stuff.
You'd think in that small of an HOA that everything would just be a vote between everybody instead of freaking.
It was supposed to be chill, man. That's why I moved there. But then like one person emailed back and he was like, what the hell? He's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to know what's going on. But he basically said like, I'm over here. If you ever want to come buy a cookie and bring me a cookie or get a beer or something. He's like, cool. But basically totally cool about the situation. So I know there are some cool neighbors. So I guess,
Definitely.
hopefully there's not more non-cool ones.
Bring me a cookie though. That
It was
sounds weird.
okay. I should read his email. What he said was, he was like, bring soda and we can argue about some things. Bring me a cookie. We can argue about less things or something. It was kind of something funny. He said,
Right.
On top, he's like, I'm the poor on the block is what he said. I'm on the poor side. Of the,
Oh shit!
He's like, I could barely afford to buy this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say nothing.
Yeah.
I don't
he-
give two shits.
he made my
Let's
day.
do
It was a funny email, and I appreciated it because I felt like everyone was against me until that. So, but yeah,
It's never everybody, dude. It's always like one or two people.
yeah.
One squeaky
It's
spoke,
always one or two people making it bad for everybody else.
You're probably right.
and then everybody just caters just to shut them the fuck up.
If
The
that's-
problem is that it's just like when it comes to voting and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's this very small percentage of people that actually do it.
Right.
And then there's an even smaller percentage of those people that actually are outspoken about what's going on.
that give a shit.
And so that's all that you see. That's
Yeah.
all that comes up on social media. That's all that
Oh yeah.
is those little small percentage of people.
It's true. It's true.
Unfortunately, everybody else makes their decisions based off of what they see on social media.
Yeah. Or
Sadly.
or the news.
Yeah. Good old
KPIC.
CNN.
Yeah. So, no, but that's awesome that it's turned into basically you wanted to quit smoking and then you mixed up some stuff. You found some people, mixed up some stuff, and then ended up turning that into your own business.
Yep.
And now you've got multiple businesses, and sounds like you're always looking to diversify a little bit, and bought your house. You're freaking. I saw that you've become like an advocate and government representation for
Not
the
by-
vape industry?
Not by choice, brother, but I had to be.
You had to.
Well,
Yeah.
you were telling me at lunch
Necessities.
because there's so few people,
That
and
do it.
even fewer of those people that actually
Care.
can speak to it. It sounds
Yeah.
like.
People are like, it used to be, we had a little bit of fight in us earlier on. And then the more the years have gone by, I mean, also Oregon's put a lot of businesses, a lot of us out of business. I've been blessed to kind of get by all the crazy rules and stuff like that. And it's why I have so many stores, I don't think I could survive with one store because of the tax. So for me, it was like, okay, I need to figure out how to make less money in more places. Which is a lot more work. But yeah, as the years go by and we get past some of these things, people start to, just think that it's going to take care of itself. And, the customers and community, they're tired of hearing. It's like the boy who cried wolf, right? Every damn year I'm telling them the sky's falling and they need to get to the Capitol. So now nobody goes. So, but, I have a lobbyist that basically for myself now. And I'm up there every time there is something. And that's the biggest hurdle at this point, really.
Yeah.
It's getting the government off my back.
You were saying at lunch that I'm part of a lot bigger club than you are, and it's true.
Oh, yeah. No, the gun people are more organized, right? And there's more people that care and more people that are willing to stand up and do something. Where a lot of people in my industry are, lazy, I guess, lack of.
Well, we're both in ostracized industries.
For sure.
But mine is definitely more organized and has more upper level backing and that than yours does.
You have your own amendment. It makes it more important.
You're actually being
Jeez.
your direct competitor is who is the upper level of your industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big tobacco. That.
Yep.
And those guys want you guys gone as much as possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They want our businesses now is what it is.
You're the competition.
So they're willing to pass laws and shit that actually negatively affect them because they can afford to absorb those laws. They don't give a shit.
Oh yeah. Every dirty
Yeah,
trick
they'll
in the
take
book
those
has
taxes,
been.
They don't care.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and pay the fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Every dirty trick in the book's been played by Altria and Reynolds and Pharma. The biggest of all is the propaganda campaign, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they have convinced more than half the people in the world that vaping is worse for you than smoking.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the truth is, like, we save more lives than a lot of doctors. And it's crazy. We are a public health net win, yet we're treated like the devil. It wasn't always like this, I used to be super proud to tell people what I did for a living when I first started. I loved it. Now, people ask me what I do for a living. I'm at a kid's soccer game or something. I could already see it in their eyes. I don't want to tell them. Do I have 15 minutes to educate you after I tell you what I do for a living?
Right.
I try wording it different now. It's like,
I saw a post that you posted about somebody drove by when you were with your daughter or something and started screaming something out the window about
oh my God, I forgot about
that
that.
you were killing people with your vape.
Yeah. You'd be, I guess you wouldn't be amazed because we're all seeing the crazy loony people
Yeah.
and all the
Lately.
truth coming out lately. But yeah, I mean,
People don't yell at gun people, so I don't
yeah.
have to deal with that.
Well, they're smart, right?
Well,
I think I've been seeing the dirty side of it for a lot longer than most. I'm in the Capitol. I'm seeing the backhand deals.
Well, you've been a part of it for a lot longer
Yeah,
than most.
I'm in those hearings where doctors, nurses, politicians, they blatantly lie through their teeth. I'm talking blatant lies, misinformation, picking and choosing which studies and dates and twisting it to make your agenda. Like when they come at us, they sit there and read off how bad cigarettes are. They're like, oh, cigarettes kill 400 or 500,000 people a year, and they have this in it and this in it and this in it. So ban vaping. And it's like
You're like, no, they're not even the same thing.
they're not the same thing, but they call us big tobacco. I'm a damn small business owner. I'm not big tobacco. Meanwhile, big tobacco's sitting back going, because, it's their game plan.
as soon as you're gone,
Yep.
I get that.
Yep.
corner.
And they bought out a lot of the bigger companies already. And yeah, sometimes our positions are aligned. But like flavor bans, for the most part, we're aligned on that, which is bad for all of us. But then there's other times where it's
Now
like,
that's the flavor bans. That's the same thing that happened in California where they outlawed like menthol cigarettes.
Didn't we vote on that in Oregon too?
we did. So funny story, in 2019, Kate Brown snuck it in under an emergency ban.
Yeah.
She banned flavors in Oregon. It was my company that teamed up with the Vapor Technology Association. and we sued Kate Brown in the state, and we won that case in 2 days and got a stay. Most of these stores that sell vapor, they don't even know it happened. We were the ones that put ourselves on the line for that. Another reason why people should support us over most places,
Sure.
but they don't. And again, it's been our company that's been up there fighting it. Every year this flavor ban comes, every freaking year. This year, 2 of them, plus 3 other bills. And it's nonstop. Like, we never know how long we have. It is always like, this is it. This is the year that they get us. And you know, half the United States has already had flavor bans or something that's pushed a lot of people out of business. And
That's crazy.
It's nuts, man. I've watched a lot of good people that have had businesses for a decade just go back to working for someone and stop helping people because they had no choice.
Yeah.
And so it gets harder and harder. But for me, I just keep looking at it like, with all the truth that's coming out now and things that are starting to be fixed, I think, under this new administration, I think it's going to be fixed on a federal level. And so now it's about holding on and not letting the states slam us out before that gets fixed. Yeah. And obviously we're in Oregon, right? Yeah. So we're in one of the most freaking blue, liberal.
The odds are against you already. Right off the get-go.
They hate us and they get so much money from us. So it's crazy. They hate us so much. They're willing to throw away all this money that they need right now, right? Oregon's not getting any more federal funding. Let's be real.
The whole hypocritical aspect of the thing is if they were gaining money off of it, they would be on your side.
If they were gaining enough money.
You know what we should do? We should start a campaign, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What you got?
We should start a campaign that you're not truly trans unless you vape and buy guns.
Bro,
yeah, it would save both our industries.
Oh, my God.
No.
That is so funny, but it's true already.
It's way true.
Believe it or not, they actually already blame us in hearings for we addict the black neighborhoods, we addict trans
people. The minorities.
Yep. We target those people, and most of all, we target kids.
I can't argue against it because I'm Mexican, so all I'm doing is helping their argument. Right.
But yeah, that's their whole game plan, and where they succeed is they say we need to save the children. They say we got to ban it because
they act like you guys are out peddling vapes to freaking kids at a grade school.
Absolutely, all because there's flavors in some of them.
Yeah.
Here, you little fucker, smoke this.
Because we're not pushing sugary poison on them in cereal. You can walk into a liquor store and there's all kinds of freaking flavors of everything. They don't try to ban that, do they? No. It's really sick.
Yeah, because fucking the liquor industry's got way too much money to fight.
Exactly. Honestly, if we would have been put under OLCC and regulated properly in the first place, this wouldn't be an issue. But instead, now we're just being taxed to death, and it's still not enough to compare to what...
I'm surprised you're not under OLCC since it's nicotine that's actually part of it.
Department of Revenue, and then OHA is always trying to force themselves in.
Which is the
Oregon Health Association.
Right there tells you it's all about money.
See, for me, OHA 100%. Is the Oregon Hunters Association.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Or did I say that right? Oregon Health Association. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. I think it's the same thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're horrible. They're corrupt as shit. I wouldn't trust Oregon Health Authority for anything. But on top of that, like I said it in the hearing the other day on this whole label thing, they're basically trying to make new label laws, even though we already have laws by the OHA and FDA. They're trying to make a new one that basically says they can come in and ban any product they don't like at any time, right? Total control.
Sure.
So then I told them, I was like, honestly, you want to trust someone that freaking can't decide if they're a human or a turtle to freaking have that kind of power?
Or tell you what a fucking woman is.
Yeah, and they didn't like that answer. I'm sure you've seen BJ the turtle, right?
Turtle.
OHA.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me? They didn't like that response one bit, but it's just like I don't understand. Everything's upside down, right? We're living in freaking Twilight Zone.
It's ridiculous. Twilight Zone's exactly right.
It really is.
Bizarro
crazy,
world.
Yeah.
And how used to it we're getting is the scariest part.
The norm.
Oh, I'm not used to it at all.
Fuck that.
The majority of people are. They just let whatever goes.
Not me.
You know, they're like, oh yeah, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean used to it in the, you know what I mean?
No.
I mean used to it in the way where I guess it's mainly for my business. So 5 years ago, I used to get so freaking mad. Like, how dare they lie about vaping? How could they say this? Yeah. Like, I'd be dead right now if I let that. I mean, I already have enough stress as it is. You just have to roll with the punches and realize that like evil's going to get it someday. You know what I mean? Like these people have to answer to their maker someday. And I can't sleep if I was lying like they are. So
when you got started into this whole journey, did you ever have any idea that this part of it was going to be
Absolutely
anything.
not. And the funny
Did
thing
you think
is,
you were going to become a freaking
no, dude.
this
spokesman.
This was not me.
for the industry?
No, this was not me. The funny thing is, my dad helped me come up with our first name, which was a play off of the Caped Crusader.
Yeah.
Batman. It's Vape Crusaders, right? That thing was not meant to be political, but boy, has it taken on a political tone, right? Yeah. In hindsight, it's like, wow, that would have been perfect anyway. But no, I had no idea. You know, I would see a couple things on like the news and stuff that was like BS, but I didn't.
Well, you told me at lunch, you were the exact same as me. You had only voted one time before you ever got into this.
Oh yeah. No, it's like, I did not care. I didn't care. I didn't watch any news or anything like that. Now it's, you know, it's my livelihood. I have to, and it's the same for you. You have to keep track of that shit.
It's the part I hate the most out of all of it, dude.
Yeah, I feel you. It's terrible.
You know what I feel bad about is I feel like I need to be more involved in it, but I have no time or money to be.
It's hard.
Like I have friends that they're in Salem every week.
Yeah.
They're testifying. They're freaking doing all this stuff. They're sending letters. They're doing all these things.
Yeah.
And they're very active on social media, and I follow all of them. That's where I get all my information because I know that they know what's really going on.
Yeah,
right.
They're not going to put bullshit out there either.
And I feel like I should be one of those guys. But when? I don't have time.
Dude,
I mean, it's all I can do to keep my business going.
Yeah.
I don't have time to, I definitely don't have time or money to be going to Salem once a week. You know, I do what I can when I can.
Yeah.
And I educate as many people as I can, and I try and share some of their stuff on my social media.
Yeah.
But that's all I can do. I mean, and in the end, that's what I have to accept. I do what I can do, and you know, that's all I can afford to do.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough employees. I don't have enough time on my hands that I can do that.
For sure. It gets, and it's getting harder for me. You know, back in the day, there's times I shut down my store and I would bring us all up there. Can't do that anymore. It's too often.
And there's a lot of times when I'm like, I'm not the guy who should be talking.
Yeah.
All I'm going to do is make things worse because I'm going to say something stupid.
Yeah, I was that guy too, though, and I just had to learn. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I still haven't fully learned. I could tell you about some meetings, especially in DC. Let me tell you, I've dealt with some freaking.
And I can only be condescended to
Professional
so much.
liars.
I can only handle so much condensation or
Yeah.
people talking down to me before I lose it and I freaking say some really bad.
Here's
stuff.
also the
Look here,
difference.
you gay motherfucker.
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
just,
and then I'll just freaking make
I
it
think you're
even worse.
Oops. Oops.
I think you also have people doing it, right? Like you're saying, you're following these people that are doing it.
Yeah, and that's what. Luckily for me, I have
And I
people
don't,
that are doing it.
right? And so if there was other people doing that, I don't know, maybe I would, but I would have the ability to take a break once in a while and not have to run to everything. But I'm the only person.
I've seen
There's
a couple of
couple
videos that you've posted though, and you can speak intelligently about what you're talking about.
I try.
Yeah, you do a pretty good job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've gotten better over the years. Practice makes perfect, right? But yeah, I mean, God, I still hate being on camera and that kind of shit, but like I just kind of forced myself into it. And I like when it comes out well, and I feel like I've done something, which isn't always the case. I mean, the last couple of times I went to the Capitol, except for this last week, they blocked me from speaking.
Which is a bunch of fucking bullshit.
It is.
By the way.
Especially when you drive over 100 miles, you're supposed to go first.
You should take that as a compliment because evidently.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
Oh no, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Oh,
We're
I
not
know.
Talking.
Like they didn't want me talking. Let me tell you, my speeches, they were gonna freaking piss some people off because I've gotten really good at knowing what to say. I know who's lying, and I'm gonna call you all out. And shitty enough, the last two times, I spend a day getting people to go and writing my speech, and then I spend the entire day driving up to Salem and back. And then to not speak, it is infuriating. And then this last time, I do it again. I'm like, I'm going to speak. I signed up so early. I use one of my Roseburg addresses this time. I'm like, they're not going to miss me this time, right? And this time nobody shows up. The people from that position that always lie, they're not there. And I've written my speech to go to freaking war.
Just for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then I get called up first. So I don't even get anybody to talk shit first. And I'm ready to go to war with my speech. I'm like, screw it. So what I said was, I was like, you know what? I wasn't able to speak at the flavor ban. So I'm going to be tying in both things today. And I got 2 words out of my mouth, and the chair was like, actually, you can't do that. He's like, you need to stick to today's topic. Ruined my entire speech. I worked so hard on it. I got stumped. I went blank for 5 seconds, and I had to start winging it. But yeah, if I ever get a chance to go up there for one of these bad ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like it is by design. Again, I've sued the state. They've seen me up there for years. They're always in my stores. They know that I'm not someone that's they know I'm a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I'm gonna pause it for a second because both of you guys look antsy. We start freaking talking about stupid shit on there.
Carlos is his comedy skits. He's always sending me comedy.
I get wrapped into fucking stand-up comedy like crazy.
Dude, I love it, but I'm afraid to give it too much time. So like I'll catch clips, but I won't watch a full comedy thing because I know I'm gonna get sucked in. Same thing with documentaries. I refuse to do it. Like I only have so much time.
That's my wife. I don't do that.
Yeah, you just.
Although
this
last weekend,
you're like,
we're back on the air. By the way, just in case you guys say something stupid.
Carlos,
anyways,
you gotta watch this.
Weekend, my wife, she got so excited about this documentary, and I was like, okay. And I hate documentaries, dude. I watch TV and shit to forget about.
Yes,
reality.
you want to escape.
Yeah, but she's all about true crime,
murder.
Documentaries.
That's a woman thing, bro.
It is.
Straight up.
It is.
So, but she got all excited about this. She's like, you got to watch it. Blah 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 blah. She was like, I was laughing out loud. It's crazy. So I did. I watched The Kings of Tupelo, which is a documentary about, you remember when freaking Obama got sent letters laced with ricin?
Yes.
Okay, that's what the whole documentary is about.
Gotcha.
But it's insane. Like, the whole story behind that is crazy, dude.
You got sucked in.
It's like a freaking... Elvis impersonator dude that went down some freaking conspiracy theory trail.
And nobody would listen to him.
And then he ended up being vindicated. Like, it actually turned out to be true. And that made him think that all of a sudden everything that was going on that he thought in his head was really happening. And nobody would listen to him. So then he was going to prove his point. And it is crazy. And it's just nuts, dude. Like, my wife's like, I never want to go to Tupelo. I was like, really? Because I want to go there for sure now. I was like, because they make it sound like everybody that lives in that place is nuts.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it. And but anyways, yeah. So I watched it. It was great. It's only like 3 episodes long, so you can binge it like one morning while you're freaking hanging out.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it was good. But my wife's into that. I'm not that much into that stuff. But
I'm the same way, man. I want to watch like those good dramas, Walking Dead, Breaking Bad.
I'm watching stupid shit.
That's my shit. I escape. That's how I escape at the end of the day.
This last couple weeks, I've been watching The Bondsman. It's Kevin Bacon's the star.
Oh yes, I cleared that, man. Yeah. I cleared that in 2 nights. Dude, I'm an addict. I love my TV.
And all you have to do is tell people what it's about, and they're like, "That sounds stupid as shit." And
I know.
Like, yeah, it was.
My wife didn't want to watch it with me when I told her about it.
Yeah, he gets murdered and then reincarnated by the devil so that he can track down demons that escape.
It sounds so much worse than it was, though. It was actually great. It was a great show. But I love Kevin Bacon.
And his partner was his mom, dude. How can you fucking hate that?
She was badass. But
she was tougher than him.
Same thing with games. Like, I won't game because I have an addictive personality, and I know that I don't have the time for it. So I give it to TV. That's where my time goes. Except Mario Kart. I kick my kid's ass in Mario Kart.
Oh, dude,
and my wife.
My wife gets started on that shit, and I'm like, turn this shit off.
You don't play?
Dude, I get addicted to a game for like 15 minutes.
And you're done?
Yeah.
Mario Kart is the one I allow myself to play.
I get bored fast.
Oh, dude, I never get bored of kicking my kids' asses.
You want to know what video game I got stuck on for fucking ever? 1923. That fucking where you're an airplane and you're just back and forth shooting other airplanes.
Oh no, never heard of it.
Yeah,
like I said, I stay out of that.
I ran an arcade I worked in an arcade forever.
Oh no shit.
The Electric Palace at the mall here.
No.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy Scott, we were the only employees. We freaking ran the arcade for
Man, I remember that.
We were there forever.
Had a pool table in it.
Had 2 pool tables.
Yeah.
And an air hockey.
That's why I used to go there was the pool table.
Yep. I used to, after the mall closed, I'd bring my friends in. We'd stay there till the mall security.
Hell yeah.
Till they set the alarm for the mall, which was at like 11:45 at night. And I'd turn all the games on free play. All my friends would come in there. We'd play video games all night long for free.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I banged on those fucking pool tables so many times with so many different girls you don't even know.
No.
Oh, Carlos.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. That's why you never had a black light in there.
Being a freaking running an arcade was like a pimp position, dude, back in the day.
Yeah, I know a little something about that. The carnival stuff. Yeah. I had the ring toss, all the big old stuffed animals.
Yeah.
What do I got to do for a fucking stuffed animal?
I lived in that tent at night too, so.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to know?
Past life.
Did
Past
you
life.
really sleep in the tent?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
It was better than the little trailers they
You
had.
just throw your fucking sleeping bag up on that table?
Yeah, man. I used to sleep on stuffed animals. The whole thing was a freaking giant stuffed
Cushions.
animal.
Dude, there's a lot of people out there that have stuffed animals. Giant, nasty stuffed animals. That have Jason's fucking jizz.
Oh, nah. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that.
No.
It was just the
He
attraction.
was
It
way.
was totally like that.
He
You just
was
don't wanna
way
admit it.
cleaner than that. Come on.
If it was true, I
Carlos.
wouldn't admit it on the air, but it's not true.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit. Oh, no, but it is.
It's all making sense now.
Yeah. Fuck. We were talking on our little break, though. It is freaking cool. I mean, you were definitely passionate about what you do, and it's cool that you're an advocate for it, and that you're one of the only people standing up for it.
I like
I
it.
mean, that's neat.
Total respect, dude.
Appreciate it.
Well, and it's kind of because you don't have a choice, because you're the only one that's willing to do it.
They're
It's also hand in hand. Like
and they're fucking with your livelihood.
I make a living off of this. I help my customers quit smoking. And if I'm not fighting for their right to have that right, and if I'm not fighting for my employees' jobs, then what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? I've got too many employees that have invested a lot of time in me and the company. And so like, I have to go down swinging. Hopefully we don't go down, obviously. But it's always a possibility. You never know this day and age.
Yeah. Well, I was telling you, if you need to diversify, a cigar lounge would be great.
Cigar lounge.
I'll look into it. I don't know. I still think the idea kind of clashes a little bit. You
I'm
know,
telling you, cigars aren't the same as cigarettes.
I mean, I agree. They're
Vaping,
not the same.
Cigar, poker, whiskey.
Oh, dude, I've been trying to find a way. But
To do what?
Oregon makes it so that you can't combine multiple things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
A gentleman's club. You just described a fucking gentleman's club, dude.
That's what I should just buy a warehouse,
Yeah.
invite my friends that pay a membership fee,
There you go.
and we do whatever the fuck we want in that warehouse.
There you go.
Dude, I will tell you what, we'll have amazing sandwiches
Yeah.
or burritos,
Today we're doing
We will
paintball.
cigars, we'll have fucking bomb ass whiskey, comfortable chairs, poker games. Maybe we'll have some strippers once in a while.
You know what I really want what I think this place needs? I'm surprised that you guys haven't figured it out. Is an indoor shooting range.
Dude, that was the plan for this,
Was it?
That's yes.
but it is
so expensive.
so expensive.
Oh, I've looked. I've been looking for my home lately too, and it's like you need.
And the
big
city.
money.
It's so expensive.
In city limits.
I've already got the city and county on board.
Really?
Like they basically told me, you find the property, we'll let you rezone it so that it'll work.
Okay.
But then you
But
got OSHA
it's
laws
still-
and
It's at least $500,000.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum, $500,000
To do it right, absolutely.
to do
with the
really
ventilation,
anything.
filtered ventilation.
Yeah.
So
We would be the only one in Southern Oregon. Eugene is the
I
closest
know.
one.
Oh, I know.
And that's okay.
not even
and then
in-
beyond that, you have to go. I think the next one is up in Portland, and then south, the nearest one is in Redding, I think.
California.
So I mean, there's nothing. And the funny part is I've got every law enforcement agency in the area willing to pay me monthly
Wow.
to come and use it.
Use it, yeah.
It's just building it.
takes
making
money
it,
to make
creating
money.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
Maybe we should talk more about this. And
yeah. I mean, but it's a huge investment.
it is. It
It's
is.
crazy. I actually, so I've gone to. You probably go to. They probably have vendor shows for vape industry.
We used to, not
Yeah.
so much anymore.
They have SHOT Show every year for guns for
Mm-hmm.
the gun firearm industry, and I've been 5 times, I think.
Nice.
But every year they have classes as part of it, and a lot of those classes are like 50-50. Like half of them are retail related and half of them are range related to help you run your business and learn more and know how to do that. And so I've taken a few of those range classes when I was thinking that we were going to be able to maybe go down that route. And I mean, there's companies out there that you basically get into a relationship with this company and they hook you up with a rep who walks you through the whole thing. Like they'll come to every meeting with the city, every meeting with the county.
Make sure you're doing everything right.
With the DEQ. They help you get everything set up.
Are you buying the build through them?
Well, I think that's the whole idea.
Right. Yeah, no.
I think that's the whole idea. You commit to buying.
That's what I figured. Yeah. That's cool that they'd go all that.
Yeah,
distance.
I mean, because it's such an involved process.
Yeah.
And that was my original plan when I was just running the business.
Yeah.
Because I had the owners before had deeper pockets than I do.
Right.
And they were thinking that it might be a good idea to invest that money.
Mm-hmm.
But then they decided, one of them moved out of the state and the other one decided that he was going to just, kind of pull out of a bunch of businesses. And so I ended up buying the business and I don't have anywhere near them.
That's a lot of money.
I don't have the credit or the bankroll to start.
Right. Yeah,
So
I mean, established long enough.
Someday down the road, maybe.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just not there.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Yeah. That's something I think would be awesome.
No, I think
too.
it would be great.
100%.
And honestly, I think it would immediately be popular and profitable.
Absolutely.
It's just finding a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
But yeah, and I think every business is probably like that. There's different avenues you can go, every business. And sometimes you have the capability of doing it by yourself. Sometimes there's no way to do it without partnering with other people.
For sure.
And so that's one thing for sure I've learned in business is you have to recognize people that you could partner with and take advantage of those opportunities when they arise, because you never know. I mean, it
took me a long time to learn that not everyone's your competition.
Yeah, for sure.
When I started realizing that and making friends, more doors opened, and you can learn so much from other people. Obviously you can't do that with the competition directly in town usually. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
and you can help other people too.
You can.
I mean, right. I've learned. I've never had an in-house gunsmith. Mm-hmm. I've had employees that dabble a little bit in different aspects of gunsmithing. Like I've got guys that can build an AR. I've got guys that can install a sight or that kind of stuff. But I never had guys that could, we don't have machines or lathes or that kind of thing.
CNC or anything.
But I've figured out that if I partner with the right people, so I've partnered with guys that can do that stuff, so that it looks like our shop can do pretty much anything. And I'm partnered with them, so it keeps them busy.
Yeah, you're building other people up.
Partner with me so that it brings business into me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's worked out for me pretty good.
For sure.
So,
heck yeah.
And I think that's probably a pretty good thing to remember with any business. I mean, there's things. My buddy, he has a little pub in town, a pub restaurant. He's not a baker, but he's got a friend that bakes. So he offers their baked goods in his place, and that's a good partnership for him.
Yeah, there really is something to that, building each other up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've learned a crash course, learned so much through the last decade of being in business that now, like I go out of my way to just try to help people. I'll run into a business that I like, whether it's food or whatnot, and then I'll jump on and find out they don't have like a Google page or something. And I should be like, hey, it takes 2 seconds. I can help you do this absolutely free. I can't tell you how many times I've done that recently, just seeing young people in business or a young business. And like, it's all stuff that I had to learn the hard way. And it's like, why not show someone? Like, it's pass it forward, basically.
Definitely.
Especially with older people, dude.
Yeah.
Older people, they've got businesses that are amazing. But because they're totally against computers and social media, they're missing a huge chunk of business.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's stuff that you don't even have to manage. You just go on there and set it up.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of
and then just
super
let
easy
it go,
stuff.
Yep. Whatever.
I actually, now that I'm in Cottage Grove, I did check out one gun store out there, and it's owned by a cop. But he only does it like 2 days a week right now because he's still in the force. But I couldn't find him. Like I literally couldn't find him. I had to call a place next to it to find out where he was at. And so I was like, how come you don't have a Google page? And talk to him. And I ended up sending him a text after that and be like, hey, just do this and this. And then he got a Google page together. And now, it's,
there used to be an awesome gun store up there. And then the guy died, and his wife basically didn't really know how to do anything with it. So she kind of closed everything up, and she ended up closing everything up out of it. But I used to follow him because he did a really good job on that stuff.
Nice.
And then he passed away, but that was sad. There's an awesome place just north of you up in Cresswell. What's it? It's like Cresswell Shooting Sports or something. It's not a gun store. It's a shooting range.
Really?
It's a shotgun.
What's it called?
I think it's Cresswell Shooting Sports or Cresswell Shooting Center or something like that. Anyways,
set up for trap shooting.
It's basically a golf course for shotguns.
Yeah.
What?
They have, I think, 15 stages.
Yep.
You rent golf carts and everything there.
But you're shooting shotguns?
For shooting shotguns.
There's a trap
every
house.
Stage, it's different trap.
Instead of a green to, for your putt, there's a trap house.
Yeah.
How did I not know
and
about
everyone, one section, the clays shoot sideways. The next one, they shoot straight at you. The next one, they shoot away from you. The next one, they bounce across the ground like a rabbit.
What?
Yes. And they do, but yeah, and I think there's 15 stages there. It's big. It's huge.
Oh, I'm checking this out.
It's badass.
That's very cool.
But I think they also have an outdoor pistol range too.
Yeah.
But
it's in Cresswell.
That's not far from me at all.
No, not at all.
Dude, I'm going to check that
We've
out.
been talking about getting a group together and going up there and shooting in a tournament or something.
Yeah.
Count me in.
Yeah.
That would be fun. For the most part, though, even though I'm up there now, I still come. I purchase pretty much everything.
You're here all
through
the time.
these. I know.
Yeah.
Like I'm loyal to.
I actually have customers that come all the way from Portland.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, so forever, I used to run
Ashland.
commercials and stuff in Eugene.
Okay.
And so I've got lots of customers that drive down here from Eugene. And
Well, I'm practically doing that myself.
Yeah.
For good reason. You have a lot of good stuff. I love that you're so focused on cans because a lot of gun stores aren't.
Yeah.
And then also your employees are awesome. Like they're really knowledgeable, super helpful.
well, that's what I try and focus on. I mean, I came from Lowe's.
Just helping.
And when I started there, they were very focused on customer service. So that's my focus is customer service. So we try and help people, there's people that we talk out of buying what they came here to buy.
Yeah, you did it to me earlier.
And
I appreciate you.
I mean, because we want them to buy, I want them to go home happy. I want them to be happy.
Yeah, not get home and say, "Oh, this isn't what I wanted."
That's the way to do it.
I've even had customers where basically I talked them out of buying anything and sent them home.
Jeez.
Come back later because we have a lot of people that'll come in. Like I'll have a dude that'll bring his wife or girlfriend in, and he's coming in here telling us, "I need you to set her up with this," and they're adamant about that.
Yeah.
But once we talk to her for 2 seconds, we know that's not what she needs.
Right.
So we have to either get him away from her to get her to buy what she actually needs,
Right.
or we have to
Just shut it down.
basically shut it down and
Tell her to come back.
try to basically let her know that she needs to come back without that dude
Gotcha.
because he's going to lead you in the wrong direction.
That's good customer service,
Which sucks, because I want to make money, but
But people remember that, right? And that's the stuff of word of mouth.
And
Yeah,
that's the thing,
yeah.
is we want people to come back. And more than that, we want them to tell their friends and their family that this is the place to come.
Absolutely.
It goes a long way.
We do the same thing. I train. Like we don't do hard sales here. Basically, all you got to do is ask the right questions. That's going to lead to answers, to more questions. That's going to figure out exactly what fits them, right?
Yeah.
And even if
Takes a little longer, but
it does, but you build that rapport. And then, I always tell my newer employees, like, we don't just want customers. We want fans. We want them to leave here stoked.
And come back.
Yeah. And come back and tell their friends.
With another customer.
Right. You can go anywhere and get someone nice across the counter that will sell you something. So.
Yeah, you can go to a convenience store and buy one of those Chinese
Yeah,
things.
exactly. That's my point. But so you got to go above and beyond, especially, with that kind of crap.
No, I think it's cool. And that's the fun part too. I mean, I enjoy
Yeah,
working
you
with
look at it as a
customers. I hate
challenge.
talking to people, but I enjoy helping customers.
That's
Which is
funny.
funny.
I'm the same way, dude. I'm such an introvert. Like,
when
I hate
somebody's
people, but when they're my
serious-
customers, I love them.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it.
I love
Yeah.
hearing their stories. I
Yeah.
love this business for me. We do consignments and stuff, so we bring old stuff in, and I get to hear lots of stories. I get to hear guys talk about. Actually, yesterday we sold a rifle to a guy that he sold. It's the exact rifle he sold like 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
He's like, I needed money to pay my rent, so I sold it. And the guy told me he would sell it back to me. And then when I actually got a hold of him, he told me, no, I want to keep it. And then now here it is,
That's wild.
And usually I give him a hard time because there's no way to tell if it for sure was the same one unless they have
100%.
the serial number,
Right.
Okay.
But this guy was like, no, it's got, these markings
Yeah.
right
Look
here.
at these marks right here.
And then where the stock's connected to the receiver, he lost the bolt, so he replaced it with a freaking automotive bolt,
Oh, he knew that was
which
his.
is obvious. I mean, I was thinking it was never going to sell because it looks like somebody took their truck apart and freaking put it
Fucking
back
hardened
together.
steel fucking bolt
Yeah.
stuck in there.
He's like, no, I did that. I'm the one that did that. And I was like, oh, well, sweet. And so he bought it because it was nostalgic, and he's been regretting selling that rifle his whole fucking life.
Wow.
And so he got it back. He's all excited. And
Yeah.
those stories are cool, though.
That's
I
rewarding.
think that's neat.
Yeah.
And then, I've got customers. I've had customers over the years that are pains in the ass. Like, they're my biggest pain in the ass customers. I had this old guy that used to come in here every fucking day.
Tell you,
I mean, he would buy stuff from me. A month later, he'd bring it back in and put it on consignment
Jeez.
because it hurt his hand. And then he'd buy something else, and we'd tell him that's exactly the same thing. It's going to hurt your hand still. He'd come back a month later and put it on consignment. He'd freaking come back and pick stuff up. I mean, it was always just, and really what I figured out was it was just because he didn't have anybody else.
that was
to
his
talk to.
routine to
Oh.
Came
get
here
out and
because he thought
socialize.
He had to do that kind of stuff to be able to come and visit with us.
I gotcha.
And we were his people.
Yeah.
And, it was cool. And he used to buy Benchmade knives from us. They're $200-$300 knives. 2 months later, he'd come in here and give that knife away to one of my employees.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And then buy another one.
Gotcha.
And, and that's what he did for years. And, he passed away about a year and a half ago. He passed away, and, his son and wife gave me a call and said, hey, we know you guys were super important to him. Would you be willing to come over here, take a look at what he's got, buy it all from us, and you guys take care of it?
Wow.
And so I did. And I've done that several times now. I mean, I've got lots of customers who have brought their wives in and said, hey, when I pass away, here's his card. This is the guy you need to come talk to. And which I'm pretty honored to have that, because
Absolutely.
it takes a lot to have people trust you like that.
Says a lot about you.
Yeah. But it's neat. What's funny is that guy was the biggest pain in the ass customer ever. I used to freaking run out of the freaking store. Like, I would come over here to my office so that I didn't have to listen to him ramble for an hour.
The Vietnam stories.
But I'll also tell you, I miss him more than almost any customer.
That's a trip.
So, I mean, it's sad, but it's true. You grow the relationships with those kind of
Oh,
people.
yeah.
So, but that's neat. That's the neat part of the business.
Yeah, regulars can be a trip.
Yeah. So you've had pretty good success with your business, obviously, because you've had multiple locations, which has also afforded you to get some success and some toys and some travel and trips.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I know besides becoming a big fan of guns, you're a huge car guy.
Yes.
I know when you first became a customer of ours, we used to be like, who the fuck is this guy? Because every time you'd come here, you'd be in a different fucking expensive vehicle.
Yeah, I'm spoiled.
Yeah. And we're like, and we're no different than anyone else. You see people that are doing better than you.
Yeah, you got to look.
You hate them because they're total douchebags.
Oh, geez.
You know,
I wasn't going there.
Anyone that's doing better than you
Oh, no.
is a total piece of shit.
I'm the store douchebag? Oh, shit.
I wasn't
You
going
were at
there.
the time.
Okay, I get it. No,
No,
that's
but everybody that's doing better than you, instantly your brain is like, what's this? This guy must be selling fucking drugs.
Yeah, what's his story?
Or trust fund baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I am definitely came up from scratch. So,
But no, I know that you love cars.
I do love
Cars and trucks. You have trucks too. So
Yes, sir. Yep. I definitely take advantage of the business aspects of being able to purchase some
do you
vehicles.
like electric cars though?
Hell no.
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 All right, then you're okay.
He had to ask it.
I once rented and I went on like a vacation in Miami by myself, which is weird, vacationing by yourself. But anyway, I went to Miami for a
I'm
week.
pretty sure any vacation by yourself is pretty lame.
It was very lame. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it would be relaxing,
I don't know if I
actually.
hate Miami because I went by myself or if I just hate Miami.
Probably Puerto Ricans. That's probably wrong.
Jesus.
Wow. Anyway, long story short, I rented a Tesla Plaid that I saw on Turo. And the guy had his own little YouTube video on it, which is pretty funny the way he put it together. And he's, this thing goes this fast and 0 to 60 in 2 seconds flat. And so I rented the damn car because I was curious. And I hated it. Don't get me wrong. Those things are faster than shit. And I've got some fast cars. But that thing was fast. But it was nauseating. I had put down a whole bottle of Pepto over this Tesla. I don't know if it's because of the sound or the neck
The
snapping.
lack of sound, you mean?
Yes, the lack of sound and the snapping of your neck back into the seat. But I was calling myself a pussy. I'm like, why are you getting nauseous over this? You have fast cars, but I could not. It was just a gross feeling every time. And it's too fast for its own good. It doesn't have enough brakes on it. You need a whole lot of whoa for a whole lot of go, right? So that was my one experience with electric vehicles. The closest I get now is the ones that have the little electric engine in there to help it go faster. I'm all for that.
My wife's best friend has a Cadillac CTS.
Okay.
And it's a hybrid. So
Jeez.
it's I love that fucking car. It's super nice to drive.
It is
It's
actually
fancy,
comfortable.
fast as shit. But
For a big
whenever
guy.
you come to a red light, the car completely shuts off.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And then the minute you fucking start to hit
Touch
the
the
gas, it
pedal.
fucking starts right up and goes, which just trips me out really bad. And every time I think the car dies, because every time it does, it turns off, it dies. But it makes me think, oh shit, the car just died,
Yeah.
So I just can't get used to it.
I've sadly gotten used to it because a lot of my vehicles have that. It's the A button. I know I need to remember to turn the damn A button off every time I get in the vehicle. And I'll know as soon as I hit a stoplight because it kills it. And it doesn't save enough gas for that shit.
Yeah.
And it's jerky when you start, right? Because it needs to start back up and then go. So I don't like that.
Oh no, Mike said he had to wear a seatbelt with me.
I did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I drive my truck, dude. I got a diesel.
Yeah, you got a pretty badass
It
truck.
doesn't
there.
fucking,
And it's floored.
It doesn't. I floor it. And
It might go 65.
I mean, diesel's kind of
70.
like a power band. It takes a minute or so before it actually kicks in.
Yeah, I know.
My truck never really kicks in. But
I once
that car, you put your foot in it and it goes.
It goes.
Yeah, well, I once bought a diesel and I returned it in 7 weeks for a 1,500 because I realized that
Yeah, this ain't working.
it wouldn't go over 100 either, which is a big problem for a guy like me. I not saying I drive over 100 all the time, but if I need to get away from an asshole, I want to be able to get away from an
Zombie
asshole.
apocalypse.
Yes,
So
exactly.
obviously you
No.
go
So
over 100, yeah.
I don't mess with anything that's less than a V8, and I try to turbos, superchargers, shit like that.
Kenny had the same car, but he had the twin turbo
He had
car.
the ATS. Yeah. It's like a little version of it that's made for hot rodding.
It's just a supercar.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, most of my stuff is super fast. I'm very blessed. I love it. But when I get in a rental car, I really appreciate it. Because let me tell you, I've been stuck in some four bangers now, and it's like, what is going on?
What
Am I moving backwards?
Yeah.
Can't pass anybody.
So do you got any
You were talking
vintage?
about Turo at lunch.
Yeah, Turo is great, man. That's where I got in love with cars.
I
Actually,
had never heard of it until year before last. Like I said, we had my sales rep here for our shooting day, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this Toyota on Turo," and I was like, "What the fuck is
hell
Turo?"
Dude, Turo is the shit.
And it sounds amazing, dude.
I've been using it for 6 years. I got my money stolen from what's the most popular rental car company with the
Budget.
No.
Hertz,
The other one.
Hertz.
No.
Rent a car.
Starts in the E or something
yeah.
like that.
Empire.
Empire.
Yeah.
Is it Empire? Anyway, I left my wallet in the car. Actually, my ex-wife was driving when my wallet flew into the floor and I didn't notice. And then we're on our way to the airport and I
So
realized
your ex-wife couldn't drive for shit?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
Probably drives like you, and you had to wear a seatbelt.
I mean,
Fuck you, Mike.
most people don't like my driving, not because it's bad, because I drive fast. But yeah, so the wallet gets knocked on the floor. Don't notice, rush to the airport, realize I don't have my damn wallet, so I can't get on the plane. So then I go back. This is 25 minutes of time.
Yeah.
It's already back there to detail. There's 6 guys, and
it's Enterprise.
they're telling me my wallet's not in there. It's like bullshit. I know my wallet was in there. Then they're like, oh, we found it under the back seat. They had pulled all my money out of it. And I talked to the company, got nowhere. So I said, screw it. Someone told me about Turo, and I've been using them ever since. You get nice vehicles.
Well, because they're privately owned.
They're privately owned, baby. And let me tell you, that's what started me into my vehicles. I rented. What just happened?
Oh, you hit the curb.
Oh, Lord.
Ka-tunk.
So many people can't drive. I rented a C7 on vacation once, vet, and that was my first intro to
loving it, huh?
fast cars. Yes, and now I'm kind of a vet fiend. And
Yeah, you have a vet, don't you?
I got a couple.
Do you got vintage cars?
The oldest I got is a 2000.
Oh, okay.
It's rare though. It's a FCR, and it's there are only 2,000 of them made.
Nice.
And so that's it's more of a business sit and hold, not get bent over on taxes type thing. But then I've got a couple.
So it's something that you really wanted, and you figured out a way to get tax credit for it.
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like it. I like
And it's going to look pretty in the shop. And then I've got a couple that I drive that are like, yeah, fun. But then even on Turo, you know, there's always something cool to rent when you go on vacation.
Sure.
And you can rent it for a day or you can rent it for a week. And
I like that fact that, like, there's videos and you can watch these people like promoting their cars.
do they put videos on there now?
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, no, I guess I did see that one for that plaid
Yeah.
that I rented, but I can't say I've seen a whole
Which
bunch
I
of
don't know
videos.
about you, but since I've become a business owner, people that do their own like promotion and do a pretty good job, like I feel like I'm obligated to freaking reward them by giving them my business. Like
Okay,
if I see someone
Yeah.
that kills it on fucking social media,
They put some
I
effort
have
into
to
it.
go to that place.
Yeah.
I mean, marketing, man, I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
It really works.
If I see people, and I know, you know that it's a small enough business, they're doing that themselves. They're not paying somebody else to do
right.
it.
Yeah.
So you're like, I feel like I have to fucking give them some of my business.
So you would be
Just because they're fucking putting the extra work in.
Yeah.
You know, they're making that effort to try and learn the business. And be good
you would
at
have been a good Tiger King supporter by watching those
it.
commercials.
Dude, I would have ate that shit up.
I love supporting local small businesses, especially stuff that I enjoy. And you know,
And I love seeing new ideas. I've got a friend, and she started a coffee shop here in town.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how you go to breweries and they've got like a freaking flight of all their different brews,
A
or
sample
whatever.
platter,
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Well, she started a coffee shop, and she does coffee flights.
wow, that's smart.
With these different coffees that she does, which is brilliant.
It is
Yeah.
brilliant.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of anyone doing that, and it's doing good for her. But I think that's amazing.
I love
don't
that.
drink coffee.
Yeah. Oh, you don't? How do you survive?
Energy
Whiskey
drinks.
and water.
Oh
dude.
my god. Oh, I mean, I've watched you, bro. Yeah. We all got our thing. Caffeine's mine and nicotine.
I drink whiskey. I drink water. Lots of water.
At least you
And I
drink
don't-
water, too.
I don't flavor my water. I just drink water.
You're like, man, you drink water like a man.
Dude, I drink
Right out of the
least 3 of
faucet,
these a day.
fuckers.
I'm the same way. That's
and
an
I
awesome
smoke
idea.
cigars. And I smoke about maybe 2 or 3 cigars a week.
I would die without caffeine.
Yeah. I do have 1 or 2 sugar-free energy drinks a week now.
Yeah, I mess with those too.
Yeah. I started at the beginning of this year. I decided I needed to get more healthy.
Nice.
And so my wife and I changed our whole diet, and I'm down almost 40 pounds and
Hell yeah, good for
been
you.
keeping away from carbs and trying to keep away from sugar.
I do the same thing, man.
But like I have a dietitian. We were talking and he figured out that, at my weight, I could it takes over 3,000 calories a day for me to even maintain my weight. So as long as I get below that, I'm going to lose weight.
Yeah.
And then he asked me, he goes, do you drink? And I go, yeah, I drink whiskey, but there's no freaking.
I don't floof
I'm
it
good.
up.
I'm like, because I only drink a couple days a week.
Shit.
And there's almost no carbs.
Liar.
And he's like, I don't believe that. And then he Googled it and he's like, well, shit, I guess you're right.
Dude, calorie counting is big. Beer is a big one that adds to the calories.
Beer's horrible.
100%. He'd never drink beer though.
I mean,
I did last week.
Well,
I don't count calories anymore. I kind of just know where I'm at from doing that for a while.
And that was the thing. I told my wife, I said, we got to change the way that we're doing things, and we have to do it together because
You'll fail otherwise.
I can't do it by myself.
Yep.
If I come home and you've made whatever, some big pasta
Something
thing,
delicious. Yeah.
I'm going to eat it.
Yep.
Because I haven't ate all day.
if it's there, it's
That's what I'm
eaten.
going to eat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so
And
she
she's-
changed the way that we cook.
Sarah's always done some throughout the last 10 years, 20 years, always been some diet. Does really, really
and
good.
I told her, and I said, I don't want it to be a diet. I
But you
just want
guys
to
have
change
never done it
forever.
together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the whole point I was trying to get at is
And I have to make my kids hide their candy in their room and stuff. I'm the same way. If it's there, I'm going to eat that shit.
Well, and so that was my big deal. Is that late at night, I'd get a sweet tooth,
yeah.
and I'd eat ice cream or whatever I could find.
Yeah.
So none of that stuff's really in the house ever. But I also had my wife start when we buy groceries every week. I had her buy. Now she buys berries,
the hack.
strawberries, blueberries,
The freezer hack.
blackberries, whatever, or grapes.
Nice.
And I just have those in the fridge or the freezer.
You freeze them.
And if I get a sweet tooth, I'll just grab a handful of those, and it's sweet enough that it satisfies it.
Dude, I'm addicted to freeze-dried fruit, crispy fruit.
That's Mike's been eating that.
That's what you, dude, I am spending. I'm not even going to say how much I spend on it, but I
Right.
eat it every night.
I even
You have a
went,
stay-at-home wife. Why don't you just buy a freaking freeze dryer?
She told me that the other day, too.
I was
She goes, if you
Googling
buy
all
me one,
these
I'll make it
fucking.
for you.
But will it taste the same? Because that brand
oh,
does
yeah.
it better than anyone else.
No.
Yeah,
She's just got to.
Oh,
She'll
big-
just have to hone it.
It'll be just
She'll
like your
eventually get
vapes.
there.
You know,
yeah.
you just
Yeah.
experiment until you get it right.
You
Yeah.
know why that brand is the best is because they probably fucking cover it in sugar.
No, the ingredients
No,
don't.
it's-
I mean, unless they're lying on their package, their ingredients, there's no sugar added. It is just the fruit freeze-dried, but it tastes so good. I'm addicted to
They
the
got
pineapple, the pear, and I buy that in bulk. In fact, I'm not going to lie. I told him now that I got the snacks in some of my stores, I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I want to wholesale your shit. But really, I was just going to buy my own habit.
For you, yes.
They ignored me. I was like, you assholes, you're too big for your britches. Okay.
Honestly, it's because they're probably the most close to natural as possible.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely.
So
'Cause
probably when your wife does, if you do that and you have your wife do it,
yeah.
it'll probably be better than what you were thinking.
So
I hope so.
I had an employee that was getting ready to go on maternity leave.
Okay.
And she had this, what do you call it? The little baby shower or whatever. And they buy gifts for the baby and stuff. And I was like, started talking to her and shit like that. And she told me she grew up in Humboldt County and they're kind of hippies and stuff. She goes, I really miss, my mom and grandma used to always make us freeze-dried shit. And I was like, would you like a dehydrator or something like that? Would you use that or accept that as a gift for?
Right.
And she goes, oh, hell yeah. So I fucking bought her a dehydrator and she absolutely fucking loved it. And she, obviously hasn't came back to work. She decided she wants to be a full-time mom, but
Nice.
she's brought me some stuff. Here.
Oh, that's
check this
cool.
out.
It's becoming a bigger thing. You're starting to see it like some people like do it with candy and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I need to. In fact, that gun store in Eugene, they had one and they almost sold me on it. It was a big boy. It was like
They're
$2.5.
pretty spendy.
Yeah, they were like $2.5 grand, or at least
Yeah.
theirs was. But I held off because I was also buying a lot of other shit that I didn't need that day. You know how I do, Carlos. But yeah, I think we should get into it because, I mean, well, those bags are $10.
So
And
we go camping. We used to do our elk season, and we'd meet up at like Sherm's, or at the time it was just Sherm's was the only one that opened at night, and we'd buy all the shit. And Carlos would go down the bulk food aisle. We'd make our own mixed nut stuff.
nice.
Dude, I totally robbed Sherm.
Yeah,
dude.
he's just filling everything in the same fucking
And all I
bag.
write is the number for the cheapest drum.
Oh,
So he's
I
got
put
this
the fucking deluxe nuts in there.
did you pause this?
10-pound fucking bag of mixed fucking shit. And,
Oh my God.
They're still making a profit.
oh, hell yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Oh shit.
Pretty damn funny.
I mean, they would never hire me back in the day, so yeah, I'll go with that. I shopped there, but it was like, damn, I had a great resume, and those fools never hired me when I tried to leave Grocery Outlet.
Bastard.
Look at me now.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, fucker.
That stuff happens for a reason, dude.
It does. No, you're right. You're right. It does.
Yeah.
Totally funny.
Yeah. It's fun, though. I mean, that dehydrated stuff is good for you. I've got a friend over at Klamath, and his wife and him, they opened a country store on their property out in Keno. And
Right.
she has a big, like, commercial freeze dryer.
She does lots of stuff.
And she does, like, the candies and all that stuff. And they put that stuff in their country store and sell it. And that stuff's bomb, dude.
Dude, it's so good. And I feel good about it because I don't like cold food. I'm weird. So I don't eat fruit. But that, I'm on it, and it handles my sweet tooth for the most part.
Yeah, I love fresh stuff.
Yeah.
But I also like that freeze dried stuff because it
The
feels more like
apples.
candy.
Dude, I like crispy stuff.
Yeah.
Little,
And
little
it does.
apple.
It tastes like, I mean,
You're
it
one of
gets,
those fools that puts chips on their fucking sandwich, aren't you?
No, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
Me neither.
You make
But I
sense.
was going to say something about your,
You get
which
sandwiches?
sugar-free energy drinks you drinking.
Oof, the bad
Rockstar
stuff.
brand, I'll drink.
Be
whatever.
careful with those things, man. I got this app, right? It's called Yuka.
Yeah.
Y-U-K-A.
Well, I think that shit's bad for you.
Yeah,
no
you
matter what.
You can scan and it will tell you it rates it 0 out of 100.
On the, yeah.
And that's how I know about how bad our food really is, because even when you go to like protein
Well,
bars,
I think anything carbonated is bad for you.
it's probably not great. I've had a kidney stone once.
Carbonation.
And I'm
is
scared
one
of
the
energy
main
drinks.
things that makes kidney stones is carbonation.
Yeah.
And so I found a Monster that's non-carbonated.
Yeah,
Recovery.
it's
It's
Rockstar has those too.
okay. It's still only like rated 40 out of 100, so it's not great. But like anything that's close or over 50%, I'll mess with. But some of those things are like I mean, let's be real. Red Bull's like paint thinner.
Yeah.
And my wife, I love my wife, man. She puts down some Red Bulls. I don't know how she does it.
And then
Yeah.
we
Well,
did
she has babies, so
Yeah.
Maybe she has to.
a kidney stone they can handle.
I guess she has.
We don't do that, dude. So
I don't-
kidney
Holy
stone
shit,
fucking
dude.
wrecks us for life.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. They say
A kidney stone for us is like
It's-
getting raped in prison.
it is.
Yeah.
Dude, it's one of the worst experiences of my life. And like I said, I was a heroin
You
addict,
seen
so
that
I've
movie
done some
American
shit.
Me?
Repeatedly putting a catheter
American
in
Me sounds
yourself.
familiar.
It's a fucking old ass fucking prison movie where this
Yeah.
dude gets put in prison and gets raped in prison.
Ah,
And
With the-
anyways,
he acted like you with a kidney stone.
yeah.
that's like a kidney stone, dude.
Oh man.
The guy kind of looked like Carlos.
Oh,
yeah, it was a bunch of Mexicans.
that's what
Okay.
it is.
Fuck you, Mike.
Yeah, no, kidney stone. I don't wish it on anyone.
Right.
And it happened when I got into doing the Dutch Bros Rebels.
Yeah,
I did them for 6 months straight, one every day. And
I
now,
did the same thing.
dude, now I am scared shitless of them. My wife drinks those too. And so what I do is I like it when she gets it because I'll steal a few sips, but I'm afraid to buy one myself. But yeah, usually coffee's it for me. That's how I roll.
Oh,
I'm scared of that stuff.
In the
man.
early 90s, they had this drink called Jolt.
Joel,
I remember that.
Joel's the best. Dude.
So there was this guy. He's a douchebag, but I knew him. He actually won a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit, and got like something stupid like $2,000 a month for the rest of his life.
Oh, my God.
Because the ulcers that he got for drinking those
Oh, my
fucking
God.
pounders.
Dude, I
2 a
remember
day.
one time, my buddy and I, we bought like a fucking 12-pack of Jolt soda. and we watched WWE, or it was WWF at the time. We watched WWF and then played fucking, I don't remember, Dungeons and Dragons or something all night long.
Run around in your underwear going, woo!
Just drink, just down in those things all night long. It was like, we're going to have an all-nighter watching wrestling and playing fucking games. And,
talking like the Macho Man.
Yeah.
Brother, let me tell you something.
Dude,
Oh, that was Hulk
Roddy
Hogan.
Piper was the man, dude.
Yeah.
That was the guy.
Oh, I can't do wrestling.
No. Dude,
No.
back in the day, it was fucking entertaining.
Maybe. I don't know. Shit, it looks like a, General Hospital to me these days.
Well, that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Came here
I'm
to chew
about the
bubble gum
MMA and the boxing, but
kick ass. And I'm all out of bubble gum.
I saw that you were pretty into that. Did you do any of that? Or
Yeah,
you just
actually,
really liked it?
when I got clean, I met a guy that I worked with at Walmart named Ray, and he was a professional boxer for many years. And he trained me, and I got really into it. And I was actually going to do I just wanted to do one professional fight.
Is that what got you into the whole fitness thing?
I was already lifting before that.
Okay.
I got into lifting before that.
So a boxing?
Boxing,
Man,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
I wasn't going to do, I was 20 something at the time. I wasn't going to do, I wasn't going to get into it for like I was too old for that shit in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now I realize I could have, but I was like one pro boxing fight. I don't give a shit if I get my ass kicked. I want to train for it. I want to do it. And I watched him at Seven Feathers back then, and it seemed something exciting for me. I got a fight set up, and then the promoter ended up screwing me out of it. And this was right around the time that I just fell into a business. And then a couple more times I was
You're like, fuck it, I don't have time for that anyway.
well, I still wanted to do it, but I didn't have time. And there's a couple more times I was like, oh, I'm going to just train and do this. Just life got in the way. But I'll tell you what, I still train to this day. And the confidence it gave me to know how to handle myself. And I got picked on quite a bit when I was a kid. And it's like, you just carry yourself different when you know how to fight.
Oh, yeah,
people just don't
definitely.
fight with you anymore. You know what I mean? And then, of course, that rolled into the Second Amendment thing later on with the guns.
Yep.
And I love that shit now. And I like watching MMA. I would never do it. I don't think I get paid enough to get in my underwear and go
I
out
think
there.
if I could go back to when I was young and freaking in shape,
Yeah.
I would have probably totally gotten into it, but that wasn't a thing.
It wasn't popular when we were kids, right?
When I was a kid, it wasn't a thing at all.
I don't think it was when I was either.
Tough man competition.
I was,
That's all
I
they
think
really
I was
had.
almost 20 years old when I watched the very first
UFC one.
was when the very first UFC. I mean, I was older.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't even a thing.
The late 80s, 88
When
or 89.
I was a kid, it was just street fighting,
Yeah,
dude. You
they
got
Gotcha.
out-
They did have
like, we went out, cruised Harvard, and got in fights just to get in fights.
They did have a promotion in Northwest called Tough Man Competition.
Huh.
And
Which
it,
was more like boxing.
it had boxing gloves, and it was, you sign up the thing, you might fight 3 times in a night.
Anyone that did
It was
karate,
a-
though, was just gay, dude.
Yeah, it was a tournament style.
Did that for a minute when I was a kid. Didn't get very far with it. But
I did that too.
I think actually Floyd Mayweather is what got me into boxing.
Money man.
Shitty human being, but amazing fighter.
You talk shit like a master, dude.
He's
What's that?
He talked shit like a master, dude.
He proved it too, though.
The best defensive fighter ever.
He was.
That's why people liked him, was because he knew how to talk shit.
I mean, like I've actually met him in person. Oddly enough, I was in Vegas for Vape Expo.
Oh, nice.
And all of a sudden, we're talking in Cosmopolitan, maybe on like the 4th floor. And I look over and I see a guy with arms the size of my body. And I'm like, what is going on?
Fucking giant.
Just a giant.
Yeah.
And I'm like staring. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, Mayweather. And you see little ass Floyd Mayweather in between these two big ass guys.
Bopping her in.
My dumb ass got totally fangirled out. I fucking run over there, dude.
You're like, woo!
Yeah, I run over, not thinking like, what the fuck am I doing, right? Bodyguard puts his hand on me. He was like, no. And then all of a sudden, Mayweather notices me, takes a few steps around his bodyguard, comes back and gives me dap. Anyway, that was cool, but I've heard stories about this guy where, well, first of all, he carries $1 million around a duffel bag. He goes and spends like 60 grand on wings for his boys, but doesn't tip the waitress. Just dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
So terrible human being, amazing fighter.
Goes out of his way to be a douche to people.
So, I mean, some of it is persona, but then I also think that
obviously.
he's not a great person. Not someone I would mimic my life after, but definitely try to mimic my boxing after him. And then MMA at the time I thought was stupid, but it's gotten so much better. Like I love it.
I did the sales, I guess, for the local shit that would go on I-5 here for about 4 years in a row.
Nice.
Rob is a homo. He was the promoter.
Rob is a homo?
That was his name.
What?
He ripped people off. But
Good Lord.
yeah, we went from basically Redding, California, all the way to Portland.
Dude, I love the funniest part of local MMA events
Yep.
is every dude goes to a local MMA event in a fucking too small t-shirt,
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
fucking
Tank top or
and
some shit.
jeans, ready to fucking look like they are badass.
Yeah. Everyone's a fighter at a
Every
fight.
Until they
girl,
get out there and
every girl goes to a local MMA event in the fanciest fucking dress with all their makeup, their hair done perfect,
yeah.
like they're trying to find their next husband, dude.
It's funny.
And it's fucking cracks me up, dude.
Dude, all the guys at a fight.
You want to see hot
fighters,
girls?
right?
Go to an MMA fight.
Yeah.
That's the hot girl.
I've got a funny story. So, all those guys run around. They're all fighters, right? Most of them are nobodies, but they say they're all fighters. And so one time I went with this gal, a friend of mine for many years. She goes to get us like water or something. And she meets this guy who says his name's Terrence and offers to buy her water. And she's like, I'm here, with someone. And he's like, well, I'm an MMA fighter, and asked to buy her water, and she wouldn't let him. She was cool like that. Got the water, came back, and she was like, yeah. She's like, this guy said he was a fighter. I'm like, yeah, everyone here's a fucking fighter, right? Later on, I find out it was freaking Terrence McKinney, like badass UFC guy that I'm a huge fan of, and had no clue.
It was, yeah.
That was funny shit. I was in Washington anyway, so it's like you never know, but yeah, that was hilarious,
Dude, I think I was at Rumors one night, and I was with my wife at the time, and we used to go there, and I'm not a dancer, so I would go there and drink and hang out with my friends. My wife at the time would go there, and she wanted to dance, so she'd go out there with her friends, and she's dancing and having a good time. And I'm not a jealous guy. I don't care.
right?
If I see dudes that are getting a little too touchy feely,
Of course,
I'll step up
You
and
say
freaking be
something.
like, hey, that's
What the
enough. And my wife at the time, she thought it was hot
To get you pissed
if
off.
I would get
oh
jealous.
shit,
Yeah.
that's trouble.
So she would encourage these guys to try and go a little too far
Oh Lord,
so that she could see me get fucking riled up a little bit. Well, this dude was getting all up on my wife, and she was encouraging it. And so usually all I had to do was stand up,
right?
and they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, dude, I was just fucking around," And but this guy wasn't. He's like acted like I wasn't even there. So I went out there and I was like, "Hey, you need to get the fuck off my wife, dude."
Right.
And he immediately gets in my face, and mind you, he's about freaking 4 inches shorter than me. So he's in my face, and he's like, "I fight for a fucking living." And that's what he says to me. And I just laughed at him, and I was like, well, I don't, but I also don't lose fights. So whatever you want to do, dude, let's do it. And about that time, the security came over and started trying to calm him down.
De-escalate. The little banny chicken.
And he's
going
like
off
getting
on
all
you.
riled up, and they're like, "No, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it." And he's like, "Whatever." And then he went outside, and then my wife went outside to smoke, and I saw that he was out there, so I followed her to make sure he didn't fuck with her. And so he started to come over and like try and start something. And I just like basically walked up like I was ready to go. I was like, "Okay, whatever you want to go, I'll go." And it was so funny, dude. The security guys were standing there, and they're like, "Dude, that was the funniest shit
laughing
ever."
their ass
That
off.
guy's fucking talking all this shit about how he fights for a living, and the minute you fucking walk out there, like, "Okay, let's fight," and he's like,
No,
dude, I just wanted to apologize.
Oh, God.
I didn't want to offend you," fucking all this stuff. And I was like,
Most of the time, it's all talk.
That's where it is.
Well, that's been the story of my whole
how you
life,
carry
dude.
yourself.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sad
rumors?
thing is that I figured out that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And if they actually came and fought me, I don't fight that much, so they'd probably kick my ass. But
Oh shit.
I could take it. I can take a hit like a motherfucker, dude. I don't.
I've been punched several times.
Yeah,
You just look at somebody. You feel better now?
Mike and I became friends because everybody thought that he used to fight all the time,
I was a dick.
Okay.
and I had a bad reputation for fighting, which I actually didn't earn. People just created it
Nice.
because I never backed down.
It did the work for you. You got-
And so every time we would show up at the same place,
Pretty sure it was that
people would
arcade
be
you
like,
looked at.
"Oh, Carlos is here. He wants to fight you. Oh, Mike's here. He wants to fight you." And finally, we ended up at the same parties together, and we're like, "Hey, let's." I don't really want to fight you.
You want a
have
beer?
drink, and
Let's
then we
drink.
just fucking drank together, and we became friends.
Frenemies.
And then we kind of knew each other that way. And then when my wife and I got together, my wife happened to be best friends with him, and we became best friends.
Oh wow.
So that's how we became friends.
That's a trip.
But
Small world.
yeah, it's crazy how that works. Dude.
You said you're at Rumors when that drama happened?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude,
was
that
the place.
I mean,
I used to live there.
That was the place.
my
man.
buddy was a security there, bouncer.
Who's your buddy?
Sean Nicholson.
Sean.
I know Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking shit that guy's gone through overworking at that place. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, quit.
Yeah.
No
like
shit.
he has gone through so much stuff, and he can fight, and he's a great guy, right? I love him.
They had
Yeah.
to know how to fight there because
Yeah.
there was always fights.
Dude, he was always getting like sucker punched
Yep.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he got keys to his face.
Yep.
All I'm just like, bro, it's not worth it. And they treated him like shit. Too.
Sprayed with fucking
I lived there for
pepper spray,
years.
Yeah.
mace. Yeah.
I had like a year stint when I was like 21.
Oh, dude, I had like a 10 years. Yeah. I've known everybody that's worked there for fucking a million
Mailing.
years.
I spent those golden years of drinking, being a junkie. So that's why I didn't spend too many.
Yeah.
too
I
many
was too, but I was also, all of my friends didn't do that.
You're an outgoing junkie.
So I went out. Yeah.
I was that closet case. Let me
I
go
was
hide
the
in
guy
a
in
hotel.
the bathroom fucking putting lines on the toilet for the next person that came in.
Nice.
Yeah. Like
So, yeah.
Sharing, sharing.
the evolution of that, of why they don't have light switches in there. It used to be windows all the way down the building.
Really
Too many people went through the windows. And
crazy.
too many people would follow someone they didn't like in the bathroom, turn the lights off, take care of business.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. We used to hang out.
They used to
there late.
chain the emergency door shut back there because so many people got thrown out of it.
Jeez.
It was great.
Remember Yogi's? That
Oh,
was the
yeah,
other
yeah,
place
yeah.
during that
You
time.
remember when Yogi's
Before
was
it was
like
a
a
strip
strip
club.
And
Before it was a
Chrome.
strip club.
Yeah.
It was better when it was the strip club.
Was it? I didn't mess with that.
And then,
I
They had a
met-
fucking midget.
and then
Had a
Chrome.
midget?
Did not love a midget. stripper.
Oh my lord, you're kidding.
No, and then a
I
pregnant.
never knew
They
that.
had a midget.
And then a
same time
pregnant
they had a
bitch.
midget, they had a girl that was pregnant. They
It
could
was
fucking
squirt her fucking
breast
milk on
out.
people.
Bro, that is so gross.
It
No wonder
is.
that place
That
got
was
shut
the
down.
best,
No
dude.
shit.
That was the
No wonder
best.
that place
No,
got
it's
shut
like,
down.
Shut the fuck up, lady. Get out of here.
And then they started hiring like 16-year-olds to strip.
Oh no.
And got busted for fucking prostitution and shit. That's why
Yeah.
they ended up shutting down.
Wow. No, see, I went there when it was a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too, but it was
And then
better after. It was
cowgirls.
way more drama. It was way fun.
Cowgirls, and then they turned it into some country western thing, and then it turned into Chrome after that. And
Oh, I remember
right,
that.
Oh,
whole
right
right
thing.
down
down
the
here?
street. Yeah.
I remember that whole thing.
Yeah, dude, that was fun. We've been doing this shit for a long time, dude.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. I was a dick. My idea of a good time was get drunk at home, get a ride to town, get in a fight, and then go home. That was a good weekend.
You punch a couple people and then you feel better.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah, I
home.
could see that.
Yeah. Terrible times. Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very crazy that you fucking grew up around here, though.
Pretty much. I mean,
And I guess you're young. You're just at that. You're at that fucking just young enough below us. That
Yeah, right
we
about
didn't know.
the time you became
We didn't
21
know.
is about the time
Yeah.
I quit going to the bars.
Yeah.
So
it's a trip.
you can only
And you were into drugs more.
Yeah,
So you
I
weren't
was
hanging out in that same place.
Yeah, no, I was gone. Really, really, really gone.
I remember I had two friends that were they got into slamming it and doing all that stuff, and so they never went anywhere.
No.
They lived in a camp trailer and they moved from one campground to another in town because you could only stay for like 7 days.
And each,
And they
14
one of
days,
them,
something like
their
that.
dad gave them a freaking camp trailer to live in because they got kicked out, but they didn't want to leave them homeless, so they had a camp trailer.
I knew a lot of people like that.
And so they went from one campsite to another. And we would go and party like in their camp trailer with them. Because they would never come out. So if we wanted to see them, we had to go there. And, but yeah, I remember that.
It's kind of a one-track mind life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
You spend your day sick.
It is. Or sleeping.
I never saw that.
Oh,
I never saw him sick.
Oh,
but I wasn't around during the day.
Well,
you know.
I mean, I don't know. I guess for me, like I had my thing where, you know, I would hook the people up that I knew, and that way I got my stuff for the day, and that worked for many, many years. And then I went to rehab and then came back out and didn't quit. I'd given all my connections away. So that's where you got nothing. You got no money, no connections.
Right.
And that's where it gets bad. You're either
You were
sick.
a quitter.
I wasn't a quitter.
Yeah.
You're either sick the entire time searching for money, or, you know, where, if you even forgot money, where to get it.
Yeah.
And
But just your whole story that you have told and all that is pretty fucking inspirational.
No, that's pretty cool, dude, that you were able
I love
to
it.
come from that and build what you've built.
I only know a handful of people that have done it, and it is. I know way more people that have failed than people that have done it, and it's pretty inspirational.
Thanks, man. Yeah, most people I ran with definitely either died or never came out of it, or
Do you have some friends that were able to come out of it with you, though? No?
close.
Yeah.
Close. I had this thing when I actually did get clean, and I was just like gung ho on wanting to help people do the same thing. I guess kind of like the smoking thing, right? But it's not one of those things that you can just help someone with.
No, they have to want
They have
to.
to want to.
Yeah.
And all it did was ended up, you know, me getting stolen from, or bringing people around my parents' house or whatever that shouldn't be there.
Copy.
But yeah, I mean, I've ran into a couple over the years that had clean moments, but you can tell on their Facebook page or lack of Facebook page now that they just kind of fell back off. Yeah, I don't really know anybody from my past that well, no, that's a lie. I do know one guy. He was like the meth guy, and I was the weed guy back in the day. And I was into opiates and meth. I was into everything. Anyway, he's actually super clean now, successful, and his girlfriend, or his wife actually, she was someone too. So yeah, so I guess I do know a couple people that
That's
made it out.
cool. Yeah, I had friends that I had a couple friends that I thought would never, like I never in a million years thought that they would clean up.
Dude, I was that guy.
I thought for sure they were going to go to prison or die.
Yeah.
And they're good now. I mean, it's years, but I mean, they're good now. Mm-hmm. And then I've got friends that I don't know what happened to them. They just disappeared. You know, they're probably freaking gone, but I don't know. And that's crazy, you know, but
I mean,
for me, it was, I got my first wife pregnant.
Yeah.
Which I told you at lunch I should have never even got together with. I mean, we should have never been together. But we got together, and the minute she got pregnant and I found out she was pregnant, my brain told me,
take care of the situation.
I have to freaking not
step up.
If I'm doing drugs and shit, my kid's going to do drugs and shit. So I started, like, that was the thing that flipped the switch and made me actually
driving
try
factor.
and quit.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And eventually I did. And but yeah, so that was the thing for me, and it worked out good. And my daughter's amazing, and I don't talk to my ex-wife unless I have to. And she's good.
Yeah,
she's great.
She's going to be on the podcast here shortly.
We just didn't get along when my daughter was still. When we had to get along, because my daughter was in the picture, we did not. But now my daughter's 25, 26 years old, and I don't have to deal with her. You know, we see each other at my grandkids' birthday parties and shit like that. And we're old now. We don't give a shit about what happened back then. So,
that's funny.
But yeah, that's what you got to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
But yeah. So what kind of stuff do you got planned for the future, dude? What's on your bucket list? I know you just got married not very long ago.
Yeah.
So you're still building that, I'm sure, but
Man, that's my goal. I just want peace, early retirement.
Perfect.
That's what I'm grinding
you want
towards.
your
Perfect,
HOA to leave you
I
alone.
want my HOA to leave me alone. I want to
Perfect.
shoot guns on my property. But yeah, no, that's my grind, man. I just want my family to be set up. Willing to put in all the extra hours now and all the heartache and stress of it to hopefully have an easier time later on. Cause I definitely don't want to have to go this pace forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that would help you out is sponsoring this podcast.
You know what? I don't know if that was your buddy earlier that came in, but yeah, no, I'm down.
No, he's a financial advisor in town. He's one of my customers.
Oh, cool.
And it actually,
It's kind of his
before
idea.
I even created the social media, like probably 6 months ago,
Yeah.
he was on the show. And
He was
he's
telling
"Dude, I'll
Carlos,
totally
you need to do
sponsor
this stuff.
podcast." He
You
goes,
need
"I
to
love
do
this."
this and this and this.
And he's like, just give me some numbers. And it's taken me this long to actually. Well, I felt bad because I didn't want to be asking for sponsors before I felt like I had enough people listening to this podcast.
That's fair.
For it to actually be worth it for them to spend money on it.
Yeah.
But I finally think I'm in a point where I've got enough people listening and supporting it that it's actually worth a little bit.
Yeah.
I would never charge like $1 million or something, but
Yeah, you would.
it's worth a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, for sure.
I'm down.
I think it's cool.
I'm down.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do something.
But no, for sure, I think we should hang out.
That
And
too.
we should definitely go shoot.
We need to shoot some guns. We need to shoot some guns.
I feel like it's probably going to be bad for you.
Why you say that?
Well,
Because
because then you're going to want to buy more.
Stuff that you don't have, and you're gonna be like, "This is amazing! I gotta have it."
I'm telling you, it's bad for me no matter what. You know, my last gun purchase was all because I sat down to watch the new Captain America.
Oh yeah,
I paused the movie 5 minutes and looked up the gun in that guy's hand and had to buy it. Like, so this is nothing new.
the last time that happened to me was when I was watching Wind River.
Wind River.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he freaking had the 4570
4570 Marlin or
Marlin 4570 fucking lever rifle.
Oh my God, dude, I need one of those. I've been looking at them for some time and I've been good and I haven't done it.
We don't have that exact one,
what is-
but we do have a 4570 in the store.
when we were
But
shooting.
I
with
was watching
the-
that movie, and my wife actually had a couple of friends over, and I was like, "Oh, I need one of those." And my wife was in the other room, and she goes, "Why do you need one of those?" And I was like, "Because I don't have one, and they're amazing."
Exactly.
And then a little bit later, her friends left, and she's watching the rest of the movie with me. And there's towards the end of the movie, there's a firefight, and he's like in a firefight, and he's killing people. And
Through
he's just
the-
shooting
through the
this
fucking trailer.
single-wide trailer. He's just shooting rounds through this single wide trailer.
Hell yeah.
And my wife saw that, and she's like, "Oh, now I know why you want one." But
when,
yeah,
when
so-
we were on the last, when the sales rep came for the cans and we were out shooting, Shane, his buddy, whips out the fucking, what was that, 357
yeah,
38 lever gun with the suppressor on it. And I was
Oh,
like, oh my God.
Yeah, those look really, really cool.
there's so much stuff. If you play with it, instantly you're like, "I've got to."
Oh,
have
yeah.
that in my
Oh
life.
yeah. I'm an easy one on that. Like have you seen the newer Captain America?
I don't know if I've seen the last one. No,
Is the Rhino.
this is the one where he's a black guy.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
And that, so oh man. The guy from you watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
The bad guy in Breaking Bad towards the end gets his face blown off.
Oh yeah.
He's a bad guy at the beginning of that movie, or he's
Okay.
all throughout the movie. Anyway, the gun he freaking pulls out to start going at Captain America with, instantly I'm like, I need that shit. Loud. Just
What was it?
It's a 357 Magnum Rhino.
Oh, dude, those are badass.
Yeah.
It is so cool, and that's one of the reasons my neighbor hates me next to the Rick Grimes.
Because you got one
That's
of
what
those?
you're
I got one of
blasting.
those. I sent 6 rounds off my porch just to see what it felt like, and yeah, it's a
Those
Very-
are cool.
That is
Very
a
well
damn cool-
balanced.
It is. I mean, the fact that
That
the
the
revolver
barrel's on
comes
the
out the bottom,
Yeah.
it does make a lot less recoil. And I got some cool, like futuristic looking rounds that I guess are for vermin. So it's even less recoil.
Yeah.
It sends out a bunch of these little pellets. Yeah, man. I had to get that.
That's awesome.
I like it. Right on. So what other stuff you got going? What's the plan for the future for the business?
You ask the government, man. I can't plan too far ahead.
Right.
Is there other things that you're interested in branching out into?
Nah. I love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about it, and I've already sunk so much time into it that it's hard to pivot. I mean, there are things I'm interested in. I just don't know if I would take a leap of faith on those things like I did with this. I love helping people. So most of the stuff that I can think of is like more entertainment rather than helping.
Yeah.
I mean, well, okay. So I'm making my own disposables. I'm actually testing the final tests out right now. I hate the damn things, but if I can't beat them, I'm going to join them. And then, I just went and looked at 3 stores in North Carolina that are for sale. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be that crazy yet, but I'm always looking at
Because the
opportunities.
taxes are less there, or what?
They actually don't have a tax there right now.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy has kind of driven these stores into the ground and not really knowing what he's doing. So they're falling every moment we talk right now. And so I'm like, it's a big challenge. I've gone out of state before and taken a hole in the wall and turned it into something amazing. But to do 3 at once, that's a tall order. You can't be in 3 places at once. And also consistently dealing with legislation. So it's a lot. So I don't know. We'll see. Basically always keep my eye out, but really I just want to be left alone. I want to run my businesses. I want to help people quit smoking. I want to create jobs, and I want to support my family.
Be successful.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm definitely going to try and push my wife to come talk to you.
Yeah, man. Have her come talk to me.
Yeah.
It's a conversation. Like I said, I'll take care of her.
I think she'd be willing to, because I mean, like I said, she's actually legitimately wanting to quit now, which is a first. So
just tell her to don't compare it to anything she's done before, because it's not going to be the same.
yeah.
Like that's one of the biggest things. People are like, oh, I tried and it didn't work. You didn't try it with us. It's a totally different thing.
Well, and that's like me with losing weight. I tell people I did all this stuff, but I never really tried.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I did was in my brain. I was thinking it was like a miracle cure. If I do it, it's just going to happen and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then I put no effort into it.
Yeah. You have to
And
put the
so
effort.
now I've changed it so that it's not. Instead of being a diet, it's just a change in my life.
There you go.
And it's worked that way, and it's been good for me.
Oh, yeah.
But,
It's awesome.
Well, it sounds pretty cool. The way that you've come into your business is pretty fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, I'm blessed.
I thought you were a cool dude anyways as a customer.
I appreciate that. I always respect you.
But
I thought you were cool.
now that I know your whole story,
you mean after you guys got done realizing I'm not a douchebag? Because
Yeah.
my car's
we didn't think
that
you
was
were a
his words,
douchebag.
not mine.
We were just wondering what you did.
That's
To
fucking
have all
Carlos.
these different cars and shit. We didn't know if you were a drug dealer or what, but
I got high on my own supply when I was a drug dealer. That didn't work.
That
didn't work.
It was
No.
cool. But no, for real, now that I know your whole story, I mean, I've got the utmost respect for you and the way that you've done it.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah.
And I think it's amazing. And
Yeah,
you've made me look at the whole vape industry completely different. dude.
I love
definitely. Definitely.
Which
100%.
anybody that knows me knows that means a lot,
that. Yeah.
because I'm not the best at pulling my punches.
Okay. Okay.
What I think about things.
Yeah.
And I've always talked shit about it.
He's an asshole.
And I mean, I can laugh at that stuff too. You know, the whole douchebag in a Tesla, right?
Right.
Or not Tesla. What's the damn car?
Well, my thing was a douche flute.
Yeah. Or robot dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
that before.
No, that shit was funny when I heard it. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, it is becoming a kind of a fad too, where a lot of that stuff is just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not, you know what I mean?
At
I
least
just,
you don't have a man bun, though. If you had a man bun,
I don't have a man
If
bun.
you had a man bun, you wouldn't be on the show, dude.
No,
That's
Damn.
There's no man bun.
That's
where
the
he
cutoff?
That's where he draws
that's
the
the
line.
cutoff.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, you used to have a ponytail, but no
different.
man bun, no man bun.
I had a rat tail once.
Yeah, you
I did too when I was a kid.
Most
Yeah.
people don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's
That
a
means that we're old.
it's a
Yeah.
foreign thing, man. It is.
And you had a Fu Manchu.
I did have a Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm jealous of that. I can't do that.
I can do whatever I want. My facial hair will do whatever I want.
Dude, this is the furthest I've gotten, and I'm proud. And I'm still trying.
You're like, and I've been working on it for years.
I've been working on it for a long time. I can
I
even
have
grow.
to trim my shit all the time.
I couldn't even grow a beard until my 30s. So
Dude,
Yeah,
if I
there-
didn't
yeah.
shave, my beard would start like literally half an inch below
Eyeballs.
my eyes.
He'd be a goddamn Bigfoot.
I would look like a chia pet, dude. I'd look like one of those munchie cheese or something.
That's
Just
awesome.
add water. It'll grow.
Yeah, but no, I think it's fucking cool. And the cool thing about this podcast is, you know, we Mike and I think we do a pretty good job of listening to people with an open mind.
I do.
I don't know how many times it's changed the way I look at things, but for sure this time it has.
That's awesome.
Because what you tell us,
Well, just like you said
makes more
earlier,
sense than what I read.
with all the propaganda out there against you, and
I don't blame anybody these days. It's hard to decipher that. Even if you were to go on Google right now and go like, is vaping better than smoking?
I don't trust Google.
You would have to get through 30 freaking pages of bullshit to find someone telling you the truth about it.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's
well,
the way it is.
when I talk to you and I find out what the actual ingredients are,
yeah,
all the rest of that bullshit doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense.
No, not at all.
And
You're
I
like, if that's what the ingredients are,
Then why would
how
they?
could any of this even make sense?
Why would they be using it in the medical field?
Yeah.
dude, all the popcorn lung and shit, that stuff's all been debunked, but man, they've ran with it and they just, they continuously tell lies.
Well, they put it on TV. I mean, there's
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
there's
we,
episodes of fucking shows that are on TV where
yeah.
there's
Law and
people that are,
Order,
like, dying
fucking-
because they have
yeah.
crystals in their lungs.
you know, 3 shows stole my business name too and did it.
Oh, really?
Cartoons, South Park.
No shit.
Yes, you guys should watch this.
Oh,
South
I'm
Park?
gonna look for it now.
Hillbillies, the hillbilly thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Squidbillies.
squids.
Squidbillies and Portlandia all stole Vape Crusader's name in one way or another. It was Vape Crusader, Vaped Crusader, and one I think was just like it was. So I see my business name on cartoons where they're totally talking
If
shit
I was
about
on
it.
South Park, I'd be like reaching out, going, "Hey,
Compensate,
Seth MacFarlane,
bitch.
I'll let you fucking
Compensate
use my
me."
actual name if you can."
I was
fucking
all
put me into
over
an
it.
episode.
The worst
Yeah.
part is the South Park one. It was actually a Batman logo too. So
Yes.
like they took
I think I've seen
Yes,
this.
dude.
Yes.
yes, and I hate that shit because for me it's like it's just such propaganda. Why you guys gotta
man.
lie about it? I used to get really more frustrated than I do now.
Oh,
now I
definitely.
expect it. But
You can't get frustrated at South Park, dude.
no,
South Park fucks with everybody on every side of everything. So if you're on South Park, it means that you're big enough
That somebody's
that
paying
they
attention.
feel like they should fuck with you.
yeah, no, that's true.
It's almost like a compliment.
I think it was more I didn't get credit for my name. It's like, come
Yeah,
on, guys.
definitely.
Well, that's why I would reach out and I'd be like, "Listen, we got to redo this episode."
I probably should have. But 3 shows, Squidbillies too. Like I was just shocked. Like how did people kept sending it to me? They're like, dude, you're famous. It's like I wish I got the money for that. For
no
you.
shit.
But yeah, there's been so many attacks, and you guys remember
Fucking Canadians.
fucking Canadians. You guys remember the whole Valley thing, the lung illness, and everyone was dying from the
yeah.
from the vapor stuff. It was illegal THC carts that someone was putting oil in.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we got blamed for that shit. Those are even sold in our legal dispensaries, and we're making irreversible lung damage. Still to this day, if you go on the OHA website, it says do not vape because of that. It's all been debunked. It's all been proved that it was linked to THC, which is something we don't even sell. But our industry took the blame for that.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And it's just constant shit like that we hear consistently. And it's so debunked at this point. But, you know, they get to, like you said, it's on TV, right? We don't get to. I put some money into campaigns before and I get blocked. I don't get to go on YouTube. I don't get to go on Hulu. Even if it's just educational, nothing about promoting vaping, just trying to combat the lies, we still get blocked.
Yeah,
That's
because
fucked.
there's people with more money than you
Yeah.
I guess so.
from the other side.
Even News Review, they once were like, oh yeah, we got these guys that can do this website thing and go on the internet. We can get you these commercials. And we did a beautiful commercial, voiced the background, and just put out truth about what
Actual facts.
Yeah, facts about vaping, proven scientific shit. And it would get kicked back and we wouldn't get to. So it's yeah.
Well, you can get legit commercials from me.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah,
Let's do it. I'm
because
down.
I'll just fucking make them up myself. I'll just say whatever.
I'm down.
I don't care
Whatever.
who fucking tries to cancel me. I'll tell them to fuck off.
That's the way to be, man.
Right off.
No, dude, this has been fucking awesome. We had a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I appreciate you inviting me on, man.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
No, it was fun. Lunch was fun.
We will get together, do some shooting. go up
We
somewhere.
definitely need to go out
Yeah.
and do some shooting. I learned a lot from you, actually.
So what time do you guys usually shoot? Hopefully not too early. I hate mornings.
Afternoon.
It depends on what time of the year it is.
And how hot it is.
I don't like the sun,
That's fair.
so as long as it's not hot, I'll shoot.
Okay. Okay.
Like today would have been a perfect day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
now-
is my weather right here.
You guys ever do an afternoon shoot? I am in. Morning, I'm sorry. It's why I don't hunt, because everyone goes in the morning. Like, you guys want to do some night hunting? Come talk to me.
That's against the law, dude.
Oh, is it?
No.
Oh, shit.
Predators.
Predators?
You can hunt predators at night.
Only on your private property.
Whatever.
But yeah, no.
Tit for tat.
No, I really did learn a lot from talking to you, dude. That's
Awesome.
pretty cool.
I appreciate it, man. It makes me feel good.
You know, one of the coolest things about this podcast since we started it is we've figured out that everybody has cool stories, no matter. You know, we have people that are so nervous because they tell us nobody's going to want to listen to me. Nobody knows what. Nobody cares.
I'm just a little guy. No one will hear me.
Nobody, you know.
Right.
But everybody has cool stories.
Yeah,
dude.
definitely.
Every single person has cool shit that they've dealt with in their life. Cool, or at least, you know, inspirational.
I can't think of one that.
We haven't had a single person that
has been
interesting to talk to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But also Mike and I try and keep an open mind about stuff, and which is funny because before we started this, nobody would have ever in a million years thought me and Mike would have an open mind.
Yeah.
We were totally those guys that were like, "You're a fucking piece of shit."
Well, he was.
Oh, okay.
I definitely was.
Yeah.
I definitely
Early in my life, yes, I was that way.
But it's neat to freaking hear stuff, and when you listen to things with an open mind, you learn that what you know or think you know is not always the truth.
Right.
Yeah, especially this day and age.
Cool. Yeah,
Definitely.
it's cool, and you definitely represent that well.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to
And
get
you
that
know what
out.
you're talking about. You sound like
Oh, yeah, I live it.
you've done your obviously you've done your
That's
Due
like
diligence,
you said,
research.
that's your
about
life.
learning what
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You know your industry, which is obvious because I mean, other people in your industry look to you to represent them,
It's true.
and I think that's awesome. I'll definitely be talking to my wife to see if she wants to come, if I can get her down to talk to you to get her started on trying to quit that way.
Sarah's going to come. I
Yeah.
feel it.
She
I
will.
think she will.
Yeah, I know
think
she will.
And then one of these shows, you're going to have to let everyone know about her success story, because she will be successful.
Dude, I'll totally do it.
Dude, I know for a fact that I can help her. You just got to get her in to talk to me.
Dude, and that's actually going to be better than you think it is, because if it actually turns out the way that you're imagining in your mind,
Oh, I know. Well,
once I get drunk on an episode, because as soon as I hit that marker where I've drank too much whiskey, I just, stuff comes out of my mouth and I have no control of it. And I know that my listeners know when that mark is, 'cause I've had them come in and go like, dude, but the best part is like 45, half an hour in, fucking whatever. I can tell when you fucking drink too much whiskey, and it's the best after that. The show's the best after that. Sometimes I just fast forward to it.
sometimes I don't even tune in until 2 hours in.
No, it's all good.
That's funny. No, you guys, it's a real show atmosphere too. Makes it easy.
Yeah,
Pretty lax. That's
I didn't
the
want
whole
people
premise.
to feel like
Yeah.
they were. I knew people would feel nervous about being on,
Yeah.
and I wanted to make sure once we went out to lunch and then came back here and started recording, that they'd be like, "Oh, this isn't anything like what I thought it would be." So
Definitely.
I've never done a podcast, but I've done a lot of interviews and news and all that stuff, and definitely the most chill vibes.
yeah,
And of course, the other really cool aspect is not censored at all.
Yeah, that is.
oh yeah.
I'm surprised as everybody else the shit that comes out of my mouth sometimes, and I know Carlos is.
You're not as surprised as my wife is.
Speaking
Sometimes I've got a couple episodes that have never aired because my wife was like,
You're not.
she's
You're
like,
not.
No, you either need to re-record that.
you need to
or-"
get some editing tools, bro.
Oh, I've got tons.
Well, you might want to take out the carnival part. I'm just kidding.
I've on several episodes I've had people say, "Hey, I need this taken out because I'm worried about it." You've said nothing that needs to be taken out, dude.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah. I mean, you even backed off when I tried to get you to talk shit about your ex-wife.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good. I'm proud of you, dude.
I appreciate that. No,
That's a grown-ass man right
we
there.
we co-parent
Grown-ass man.
very well together, so I like keeping that way.
Like I said at lunch, I've seen pictures. Your freaking oldest daughter, it looks like you guys are best friends, and that's amazing, dude.
Yes, it is.
She's a great kid. Great kid. Super blessed with that too.
Keep it
Yeah.
that way.
So I'm super happy. Very inspiring story about how you've changed your life. I hope your business does amazing.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
We deal with a lot of the same stuff.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's cool to see how you deal with it. And I'm anxious to see what you have coming in the future, because you don't seem like a guy that can sit still. So
No, sir.
I know that no matter what happens with your business,
You're going to come out on top,
you're going to
one way or the other.
create something else or whatever. You're going to be definitely doing something.
Yeah, I think
think
so.
that's cool.
I hope so.
What do you got planned for the future for your family? Any places you're thinking that you need to go on vacation or?
Yeah, vacations are hard right now, especially with the 3-year-old. But I don't know. It's a good question. Definitely looking forward to enjoying the summer, getting out and do some water park stuff.
Dude, water parks are disgusting.
Dude, they're bad.
You know, all that water has urine in it.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they got
yeah,
enough
of course I
bleach.
know this, man.
They have enough bleach,
But
in
the
there to
kids
kill
love
everything.
it, and like,
Yeah.
Screw that.
I mean, it's the same way at the trampoline park. Like, I don't want anything to do with
Have
it.
them come to my house. I'll fucking hose them down. Dude. I'm a pro.
There you go. Well,
I'll
now
just fucking hammer
He's all,
them with the
get
hose.
off my lawn.
Just tell them go walk on that guy's lawn, dude. Well, I'll fucking hammer him.
that's funny. Yeah, no, just want to keep making sure to provide and definitely looking at private schools,
Yeah.
which is expensive.
Definitely.
But this day and age, I'm really trying to protect my kids.
You almost have to.
Yeah. So it's
It's damn near a
Our
necessity.
friend Shane, his daughter's in a UVC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
that's where mine
Christian.
was at before we moved.
And
She's older.
it's crazy
The
how
amount of
far
money.
advanced they are in that compared
Yeah.
to public
You're
schools.
definitely getting your money's worth.
Dude, the shit they're feeding kids in these schools these days, like,
Yeah.
they're completely brainwashing them.
It's
so
crazy, yeah.
no, my kid was in UVC, and sadly, when they moved south, that wasn't an option. But she's about to get back in a good school in an area where they just bought a house. And we've got plans for the other two to go in, one, I think that might be in Crestwell, actually.
Yeah, they got a pretty good program
And
there.
yeah, they're super expensive, but I think it's going to be worth it. And it gives me a reason to grind harder. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Certainly.
Well, that's the whole reason we do what we do.
Yes, sir.
So that our family and our kids have a better life than we had.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But anyways, we've been talking for a while, so I better wrap this up. Thank you so much for being on the show, dude.
No,
It's
thanks
been
for
fun.
inviting me. I appreciate
It's
it.
been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty damn
Nice-
cool getting to
Nice
know
meeting
you.
you too, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's a piece of shit.
Not so much anymore.
Oh, I can't wait to shoot with you guys. It's going to be fun.
He's obsessed with midgets too. His next old lady's
Who isn't?
You guys
Come
and the
on.
midgets.
How can you look at a midget and not smile? What
Y'all
the
are real
fuck,
sad yogis got shut down, huh?
dude? What the fuck?
Mike is for sure. I tried to hook him up with a girl that worked at Seven Feathers.
It almost worked, but I got bashful.
He wouldn't go talk to her.
Is this a little person?
Yeah.
She was little. She was working though.
She looked like she's about fucking 8 years old.
No, she did
Oh,
not.
my God.
Don't make me sound that way.
Y'all are too much.
She was a grown ass woman. She was just short.
No, for reals though. Thank you for being on the show, dude.
Appreciate it,
I
man.
really loved it. It's been great. Mike,
Hey,
it's always mediocre hanging out with you.
I know. It turned out the best it could, right?
Yeah. And I did put out that we're actually accepting sponsors now.
Yeah.
So anybody that's interested in sponsoring the show, feel free to reach out.
I'm going to go ahead and take that next spot. So
Right on. I appreciate it. But yeah, the show is sponsored by Umpqua Survival right now. Well, it will always be sponsored by Umpqua Survival because that's my business. And anyways, thank you guys for listening. And until next time,
Peace.